Dang it.
Do it.
Oh, you have an option to do it. I thought it automatically did it.
Let's do it.
All right.
Fine. Try that. And we are live. Welcome everybody into the NBA Roundtable during this All-Star break. And joining us, we have some very special guests. So behave yourselves. Looking at you, Donnie. Joining us tonight for the very first time, our first collab, Philly Take with RB. What's up, Philly?
What's up?
Yo, what's going on, man? Thank you guys so much for having me on the channel, man. Again, big fan of all you guys. The best right here, literally the best right in front of me, man. You guys support them all the time, and they deserve it, man. Really grateful to collab with you guys, and yeah, I'm ready to talk it up, man.
RB, it's a pleasure, man, working with you for the first time. We love your channel and the work that you're doing over there. Die-hard Philadelphia sports fan right here, does a lot of live streams. Guys, please go subscribe to him. Mods, if you guys could drop the link to RB periodically throughout the stream, that would be huge. Thankful for us.
Let's go.
Also joining us, you guys know who this is. He's in here like all the time. Sometimes we don't even invite him. He just shows up.
Yeah.
It's Rocha Entertainment. What's up, Roach?
What's up, guys? Josh and Sean, thanks for having me once again. And Philly Take with RB. It's good to finally collab with you, man. It's going to be a fun night.
Yes, sir, it is. And we're glad that you guys are hanging out with us.
Yeah.
Also, after we're done with our topics of discussion, we're going to be taking some call-ins, so we want to hear from you guys. If you guys got questions for us, Roach, RB, at the end, we're going to be doing some call-ins.
I know y'all like to do that.
And we'll tell you how you guys can do that.
Yeah.
All right, Sean, RB, Roach, the All-Star break ends on Thursday. That's when he comes back, right?
Oh, yeah, that's when the NBA comes back.
And the NBA, the first part of the season before the break was very interesting. All of our teams are doing pretty well right now.
I love it.
Rocha's Warriors, RB's 76ers, my Bulls, your Dallas Mavericks. So the first topic we're going to bring up tonight is just we want to know, what do you guys feel about your teams right now and going forward after the break? So let us know in the chat about your particular teams, and we'll start off with RB. Tell us about the 76ers, man.
Well, it's been a an interesting season nonetheless. It's been kind of like more distraction than anything. Even though we have been floating above water, obviously, been the elephant in the room this year. But let me tell you something, man. My Sixers are coming. Finally, I can say that and believe it. Like we have a chance. We have a shot now. We acquired James Harden. Finally, Joel Embiid has a guy like James Harden next to him, a lethal cutthroat player who can get a bucket at anywhere on the floor. Now James Harden has a guy like Joel Embiid who can man the paint. Both of them can get a shot. I mean, Joel Embiid's been unbelievable. A lot of people, in the media aspect, try to put him down. At the end of the day, Joel is out of his mind this year. I didn't think there would be a way to get better than last year. He actually has, and I think part of it was the fact that he's been internally motivated with all this stuff going on off the court. The Sixers are a solid team. I wouldn't say we're the favorite, but I say we have as good of a chance as anybody now. It's going to take some time to mesh, but when you have swing players like Tobias Harris, when you have guys even coming off the bench like George Niang, who probably nobody even in this stream knows, but he's a gritty guy. He's going to come bring the energy. Just having those kind of players, and Tyrese Maxey, second-year guard who is looking like a really, really good player down the line. You bring all that talent. Now you put James Harden as the icing on the cake. I'm looking forward to these last 23, 24 games, whatever it is. I think for once the Sixers have a chance to be contenders, and I think the East is playing out pretty well, in my opinion.
Yeah, I'm really excited to see what you guys can do. James Harden, this is where he wanted to be since back in Houston. And now he's here in the city that he's been wanting to play for.
Finally.
You pair him up with Joel Embiid. I've heard a lot of comparisons to past combos of guys, guards and the big guys, Kobe and Shaq, that type of duality. And then you got the other role players with Maxey and Thibault and how do you feel about Doc Rivers coaching these guys? Because there's a lot of people outside of Philly and some people within the Philly fan base that are not big favorites of Doc Rivers.
Yeah. A lot of guys that I even know, are not big on Doc Rivers. I've always been a guy to, point out the good that he's done. He definitely has done a lot of good for our team. He really helped Joel take himself to that next level, really designed a good system when he came in. But I'll be honest, I try to tell it how it is. I'm worried about Doc Rivers, more so his lack of adjustments. And the only thing that I look at in terms of positive, where I start to look up now, is like, Doc Rivers was on that Celtics team. He was the coach of that Celtics team that won a championship with 4 Hall of Famers.
Mm-hmm.
And the talent now be so great where Doc's deficiencies are kind of messed, and James Harden, Joel Embiid will do that for a coach. But there's definitely concern when it comes to Doc Rivers. You can't run all bench lineups. You can't go 9, 10, 11 deep in the playoffs. That can't happen. We saw it last year. It was a disgrace. But now I feel like the elephant is out of the room. And now we can focus on basketball. And, I'm hoping the greatness of Joel and James take over, man. I can't wait to see how it meshes.
Yeah, looking forward to it too. And being an Eastern Conference team myself, the Chicago Bulls, I don't know, at some point, maybe we might see each other. And you guys are looking pretty scary.
Yeah, I was just telling Josh the other day when we were talking about, James Harden and Joel Embiid. This just reminds me last time that, James Harden had a big like this. Well, not obviously on the same level as Joel Embiid. He's never played with a guy like Joel Embiid, but last time he had a big was Clint Capella. And when we saw him like that, a lot of people forget he was the top pick and roll player. Him and Chris Paul were always number 1 and number 2 pick and roll players in the NBA. And number 1 in assists pretty much almost every year with Chris Paul. A lot of people forget about that. And Joel Embiid is even better than Clint Capella. I think y'all got something special there. As long as y'all mesh really well together and it picks up quick. Oh my god!
And it's good that Tobias Harris has started to pick things up here, but
that's true too.
Absolutely. And I want to just make one more quick point because I'm not sure how you guys feel. Would love to get your takes as well. And the chat, shout out to the chat, man. Let me just put this out there for the people before James Harden has even stepped on the floor as a Sixer. Please don't tell me that this man is washed. Okay, James Harden can still get a bucket. Now, obviously, he's not what he was in Houston. He's not as athletic, but I feel that James Harden has definitely molded his game, especially when he went to Brooklyn last year. He's second in the league in assists. He's averaging 10 plus. He has learned how to play alongside other players. And, he said it in his opening press conference here. Joel, these guys, they're playing well. I'm here to come contribute. I'm here to help. It's not just my team. It's not all iso ball. You can't play like that with Joel Embiid in the paint. So look, maybe it works out, maybe it doesn't, but I think James Harden has a lot left to give. I think him and Daryl Morey, what I call it, is unfinished business from Houston, honestly. I mean, they were this close from going to the finals.
Right, they really were.
And I think they're going to have as good of a shot as anybody, and I can't wait to see the duo play out, man. But just wanted to throw that out there.
All right. Thank you so much. RB. Rocha, Golden State Warriors going into the break and out of the break.
Wow, man. Not the season I expected. I expected us to be good, but a number 2 best team in the NBA. Why? Because the Warriors did something what they lacked last year, and that was basketball IQ. So they go out and get people like a Bielitsa, like an Andre Iguodala, and you lack shooting. So you go out and get a Otto Porter Jr., man. And looking for the Warriors, we're struggling. We did struggle going to the break, but we don't have Draymond right now, and we definitely are lacking that. But the first half of the season for the Warriors was incredible for us, man. The streaks we went on, we had a couple big, 8-game win streaks. They were incredible. We're one of the one of the deepest teams in the league with the rookie like Jonathan Kuminga and Moses Moody coming off the bench and able to contribute in their first years. Second half, look out for us. Wiseman and Draymond, hopefully both back in March. If that happens, I feel very confident about this team going to the playoffs to have Draymond's defense and offense back and Wiseman's ability to get to the rim and shot block. The Warriors can just stay healthy the rest of the season. I think it'll look just like the first half, and I think we can make a very deep finals run.
Getting James Wiseman would be really huge for you guys because when I watched the Golden State Warriors, especially lately since Draymond's been out, your lack of size has really been a hindrance to you guys.
Yes.
A lot.
Big time, man. It's we complain every day. It wasn't shocking that we didn't go out and get a big because just how our roster stands. but there's times where we just get bullied underneath that paint because we just don't have the size. And it's something that Draymond and Wiseman desperately will bring to this team once they're healthy.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Sean, your Dallas Mavericks. How do you feel?
Well, started off a little rough. But man, as of late, it's not much to complain about, really. They've been one of the hottest teams since the beginning of the year, one of the top defenses since the beginning of the year. Even Luka, who everybody thought that couldn't play defense, has been playing damn good defense, even surprising me. No, I've been loving it, man. Jason Kidd. A lot of people were questioning this hire when he first got hired. I know me and you actually really liked it. We thought he'd really be good for Dallas. But yeah, everything that Jason Kidd's done. Now I do wish, just like Roach's team didn't do, I kind of wish we would have gone out and gotten a big. That kind of bothers me because I still think, especially in the West, you kind of need a big when the playoff comes, when the gameplay slows down. But how can I complain when our defense is playing godly, man? We've literally 7-3. We've beaten some of the best teams in the league. We've beaten the Warriors. We've beaten the Heat.
Grizzlies,
Bulls, Grizzlies. We have a great record versus them. Still can't beat the Suns apparently, but no, I love it. I'm excited to see what it is. Luka looks like he's on a tear. Mark Cuban even said that he thinks that him not being selected as an all-star starter really motivated him. And if that's the truth, man, this guy's dropping 40 bombs left and right. I'm pumped.
Oh, it absolutely did motivate him. In fact, that's exactly what he said the other day. He said in an interview, he said that the fact that he didn't make the all-star starting lineup, the fact that people have been hounding on him about his weight and how he's been kind of lazy sometimes, especially in the first part of the season.
Yeah,
we saw that a lot. And he said, like, something just clicked inside of me. It finally clicked in me. I need to get my body and my lifestyle more on track so that way I could be a better player on the court and be just more energetic off the court. So Luka Doncic right now is the most motivated that we have seen so far, and that's a scary thing because now that he can play some defense to go with everything else that he could do, play, make, score.
Oh, yeah.
It's going to be really dangerous for your Dallas Mavericks. And with the addition of getting Dinwiddie and Bertans, Dinwiddie, I really like that. I mean, that's a great another scoring option for you guys that you got three guys who can really rely on. Luka, Jalen Brunson, Dinwiddie could be that guy. And then outside of that, you have Finney Smith and Tim Hardaway Jr. When he comes back, that could be very well for you. And Davis Bertans, he's a one-trick pony. He only does one thing for you, that's shoot. But if he can look like what he did in his debut against the New York Knicks, where all he's got to do is just sit on the perimeter and be that guy who gets that bucket.
Oh, yeah.
Hey, he knocks down those shots. He can average 9 to 14 points a game.
That's all we need him for. That's really all we need him for. Just catch and shoot. And that's it. Another guy I wanted to throw out, he's been hurt the last few weeks, was Reggie Bullock.
Reggie Bullock?
Or Bullock. I think that's how you actually pronounce it. Sorry. He's been, since he really started taking over after Tim Hardaway, he's one of the best three-point shooters in the league.
Yes. He's
been shooting outrageous, over 40%, just killing it for us. And with Tim Hardaway being out, we need someone else to step up and be that guy. And he has not disappointed.
Right.
So I love how we have players stepping up there. I feel like they're buying into what Jason Kidd's saying. Even Jason Kidd looks like he's having fun with the players. Players like him, unlike what we have with Rick Carlisle.
Exactly.
People are actually smiling and having fun on the court again.
It's important.
And that's very important. So I'm excited.
Yeah. Now on to my Chicago Bulls. Man, what a hell of a season we are having despite so many things going wrong. I mean, we're not letting anything bother us or get in the way of us winning games this year. I mean, we have a ton of injuries. We've only had our starting lineup, a week and a half into the season before Patrick Williams had to go down, and hopefully we get him back before the end of the regular season. But the Chicago Bulls, man, surprising a lot of people. I thought they could end the season as a 4th seed, and then they just hit the ground running with how incredible their chemistry was. It was like almost suspicious, like how amazing their chemistry was, like with a lot of new pieces.
And it was kind of crazy that it happened with the worst move in the offseason, right?
DeMar DeRozan coming into Chicago, who is having an MVP season, not a fringe MVP season, MVP candidate. He is breaking records. He just broke Will Chamberlain's record, scoring more than 35 points or more in 7 consecutive games on 50% shooting. He is having a renaissance in his career at the age of 32. Zach LaVine, Lonzo, Caruso, these guys have been playing fantastic together. Can't wait to get Lonzo back and Caruso because they are the heart and soul of our defense. Before Caruso went down, our defense was a top 10 defense. Since Caruso's gone, and especially Lonzo Ball, our defense went into the 20s. I mean, that's how big of a difference these guys make for us.
Yeah.
Also, credit to Billy Donovan. He's been doing a fantastic job with some of the development of these guys. Ayo Dosunmu, our second-round pick, has just been absolutely a gem for us. We didn't have a first-round pick, and we certainly got a first-round talent with Ayo Dosunmu, who's even playing in the starting lineup a lot this year. And then also Kobe White. Got to show some love to our guy, Kobe White. He is somebody that, he's a scorer. Like he's somebody who comes and he's like a firecracker, man. He just starts hitting shots and he could be a bucket.
Yeah.
But everything else was, kind of questionable. He wasn't really good at decision making, really not very good at playmaking, not very good defender. All of these areas are things that he really stepped up this year. I've never seen him play like this, and that's credit to Billy Donovan and the rest of the guys like DeMar DeRozan and Zach LaVine, Lonzo, Ayo, and Caruso has been a huge help for us. Chicago Bulls are proving a lot of people that even without having some of our starting lineup, even with guys being injured, we can still win games. We can still be a threat in the Eastern Conference. And I'm excited to see what the Bulls could do when we're fully healthy.
Bulls are back.
Yes. So that's how we feel about our teams going forward. All of our teams got something extremely to be excited about. We're all playoff teams.
I love it.
Oh, yes.
Yep.
So that's going to be incredible. Now, let's get into the biggest surprises and disappointments on the season so far. Matthew Goodman, we see that $2 donation says Embiid and Harden is scary. Hashtag Giddy season. Giddy's been incredible this year.
Yep.
Thank you, Matthew Goodman. Appreciate the donation. But biggest surprises and disappointments. We'll start with RB.
We going with surprise, disappointment?
Yeah, let's go with your biggest surprises. Big surprise for the NBA season. Doesn't have to be your team either.
Yeah. So I'm actually going to go with the Cleveland Cavaliers. They're a team I've followed, in the Eastern Conference. I never really followed them too much before this year, since they had LeBron. We did have the pleasure of going up against them a couple weeks ago. We played them really well, but the way that they're able to kind of, play 2-3 bigs at once, Mobley's been a stud. We'll talk about probably him later on. But, even Kevin Love coming off the bench, and then obviously you have Darius Garland. Sexton goes down early. I'm like, that's a big hit for the Cavs, but there's just something about that team. Like they've riled together, and JB Bickerstaff has done a wonderful job with that team. They're sitting 4 in the East. I did not see the Cavaliers being a top 4 team at this point. I didn't see them being above 6 or 7. I knew that they had good young talent, but I thought it would take more time to mold. I got to give it up to Garland. Obviously, the All-Star game was in Cleveland. Garland is a stud, man, and just the way he can put the ball on the floor from pretty much anywhere. He's so athletic. He's explosive. And then again, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, that tandem down low. I mean, I don't even know if I ever saw Jared Allen becoming what he is already right now. And I don't think Brooklyn did either. So, you got Jared Allen, Evan Mobley, Darius Garland. I feel like the Cavs just have a lot of talent, like not even, going deep on their team, not a lot of guys who are just big names, but they just have young talent who's hungry, ready to play. And I feel like that's kind of the vibe that JB Bickerstaff gives off. The Cavs have been my surprise team this season. I think they're going to be a playoff team. And if I had to make a little bit of a hot take here, they're going to be that team that might not win a playoff series, but they're going to be the team you don't want to play. That underdog type of just gritty team that you just don't want to face up against.
Right. I agree. And I kind of hope my Chicago Bulls, if we face the Cavaliers, that's one of those teams that could really give us a lot of mismatches.
Yeah.
They play well against us. What we're weak at, they're strong at. So Cavaliers, I love that. Rocha, big surprise.
For me, it would have to be the 3rd best team in the NBA right now, and that's the Grizzlies. Now, listen, I know they have a bunch of talent, but to me, I thought they were going to be a lower tier, like 6 seed, 7 seed. I didn't expect them to have only 19 losses going into the halftime break. This team is one of the deepest teams in the league, and they've been well coached by Taylor Jenkins. John Morant is turned into a bona fide superstar, an MVP type player this season. And what they're doing out there in a small market is wonderful. I mean, the Warriors, we struggle against them. You're just talking about Cavs don't want to be a team. I don't think you want to face the Grizzlies in the playoffs. I sure in the hell don't. I'm scared of my Warriors to go against the Grizzlies. What they have done and the team they put together and what being the third best team in the NBA right now, man, has been an absolute incredible for them.
I really love that one, Rocha. The Memphis Grizzlies, a third seed. They're at 41 wins right now. They were at 38 last year. They were in the play-in. Yeah, they're the third seed. Last year, their defense efficiency was ranked 8th. They're 7th this year so far. So defense is still there. They're playing good defense. But here's the big difference between this year and last year. Last year, their offense wasn't nearly as good. They are second in scoring right now in the league. Ja Morant, like you said, taking a bigger step this year, turning into a superstar, but also the other guys that are contributing. Desmond Bane has been popping off this year with averaging almost 18 points per game. Yeah. He was averaging 9 last year. Triple J, Jaren Jackson Jr., he's been playing incredible defense this year, even when he was in that offensive scoring slump not too long ago. He was playing defense this year and guarding the paint, guarding the perimeter. But now he's starting to pick it up offensively. He's averaging almost 17 a game. Yep. And then let's not forget that they've been winning games lately without some of their other guys, like Dylan Brooks. That's true. They got a guy who's averaging almost 20 points per game that they're waiting to get back. Yep, could be even scarier. I need him back in fantasy. Jesus. So, yeah, Memphis Grizzlies. That's a great one.
Yeah.
Sean?
I think they both nailed it. It's between the Cavs and the Grizzlies. But I think the Cavs more so is because it's just the history of the Cavs, right? They've had young talent before, and they still didn't do anything. But now they're actually doing something with it. Without LeBron, right? It's always been when they have LeBron, they're great. Without LeBron, they're a bottom feeder. And now you don't. That's not the narrative anymore.
Right.
And man, I just Evan Mobley. God, if people didn't know who he was because he played in Cleveland, now you do after the All-Star break because this guy lit it up in the Rising Stars and all that. Man, he looked great, and Cleveland is definitely my biggest surprise.
My biggest surprise is also the Cleveland Cavaliers. You guys mentioned a lot of this stuff. I mean, fourth in the East right now at 35 wins compared to the 22 wins that they had all of last year.
Yeah.
And here are the biggest reasons why they are just so good. And I'm really impressed by it. This is an era of small ball.
Yeah.
A lot of teams are going small. They're fast. Cleveland Cavaliers said, okay, everyone's going that way. We're going to go this way. You guys want to play small ball? We're going to play old school big time ball. This is a big team.
Yeah.
Everyone's huge. You got Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Kevin Love, Lauri Markkanen, and Darius Garland's like, look at all these big dudes I could just toss it to. And all of them can score pretty much from anywhere.
Yeah.
And Jared Allen's been an absolute beast. So they're a big team that give you huge problems. A lot of these bigs can score, like I said. They're top 5 in defense efficiency last year. That's another big difference. Last year, they were ranked 25th. And that's because of guys like Evan Mobley, who they drafted, who has been one of the best defenders this year. Isaac Okoro plays really good defense. Everyone is buying into the system. And another thing I'm really impressed by the Cavaliers, shout out to their GM, Mike Gansey, that, they were losing some guys throughout the season, man. They lost Ricky Rubio, and that really sucked. Right now, Lauri is hurt, but they went out and they decided to make a trade, and they went and got Caris LeVert. I like that. That's some good stuff because it's like, you know what? We got something special right here. We're going to go in the playoffs, and we're not just going to settle for, oh, look at that darling team that the playoffs that almost upset in the first round. No, let's try to make a run. Let's try to make a deep run. So they went out and got Caris LeVert, and I really like that. So that's pretty ballsy right there.
Yeah.
But these guys stepping up with the defense, just really stepping up, and with their size, they become a problem. They become a problem, even despite some of the injuries.
I do want to bring up Kevin Love. I remember last year where it looked like he didn't care about being on the team. It looked like he was quitting on the team, and
now he's averaging 14 and 7.
He really
on the bench.
I love that they convinced him, like you said, the GM, the coaching, all that, and just really got these guys to buy in.
So it
Great.
looks like Cavaliers, Memphis Grizzlies, the biggest surprises for us. I want to give some other, candidates for biggest surprises for me. The Golden State Warriors, the way they stepped up immediately. Like I thought you guys would be like a 7th seed, 8th seed this year, and I thought that would have been pretty decent, like a bounce back from what you guys were last year. I think you guys would have avoided the play-in, like maybe. Yeah. So, but your role players, Roach, Jordan Poole averaging 16 points per game right now, up 4 from last year. Wiggins becoming an all-star this year, averaging 17 points a game. Gary Payton Jr., his defense has been stout for you guys. Incredible. And Jonathan Kuminga, the rookie, another rookie who is playing way better than what people thought so quickly. In the last 10 games, is averaging 12 points a game. These role players for y'all have been crucial because Steph Curry's having a down year from threes. He's shooting 42% from 3 right now. Draymond Green's been out, but yet you guys are not just on this losing streak. James Wiseman, you still haven't gotten back. So that's been really a big surprise for me too.
Yeah, like I said, it's replacing the bad basketball IQ players that we had last year and the people who couldn't shoot, and replacing the people with who could. And we all expected coming out of the draft, really, I think that Moody would be the more ready-to-go player than Jonathan Kuminga. But we're already seen from Kuminga, this dude's had nights where he's dropped 20 and 10 already in this league. He's going to be special. And the role players, they bought into the system. They fit well. Otto Porter Jr., Josh, your boy, he's been relatively healthy. He's missed a few games. We've sent him in back-to-backs. He's been huge with us. Whether he has to start, the Warriors are 10-1 when he starts this year, or whether he's coming off the bench. The role players are just bought into the system. And it's been great, man.
Also, another really cool surprise that I've noticed this far is teams winning despite injuries. Chicago Bulls. I got to throw my team in there. We're a 2nd seed despite so many injuries throughout the season. The Miami Heat, number 1 seed. So show some love to the Miami Heat. If I don't know if there's any Heat fans in the chat right now, but you guys number 1 seed despite the fact that your core of the team, the players that make up the core of your team, only played 16 games, 20 games together. Like That's been incredible for y'all.
It's been insane.
Denver Nuggets, no Jamal Murray, Michael Porter Jr. He went down. He wasn't even playing that well before he went down anyway.
Yeah, that hurts.
Nikola Jokic and the rest of the role players, 6th seed in the West. That's respectable despite having all those injuries. Yeah. So, I think that's been a really cool surprise. And as well as the rookies, just how many rookies are stepping up and becoming not just role players, but some of these guys are just the guy on their team, like Franz Wagner of the Orlando Magic. He's the best shooter on that team. He's the best shooter in the rookie class, and he is their most efficient scorer on that team. Josh Giddey stepping up huge this year, and especially when SGA going down.
Yeah,
Giddey's taking over the league by storm right now. Especially last month.
I mean, he's been getting so many triple doubles over the last month, man. He's been huge for them.
Yeah. So he hasn't broke the record yet, but he's on pace possibly to break the record, right? For the youngest,
I believe so.
For triple doubles.
Also, just want to throw out there the Raptors. They've been looking pretty incredible this year as well.
Yeah.
And during the trade deadline, a lot of us gave crap to the Sacramento Kings, because they traded away Tyrese Halliburton.
Yeah.
Right. When we thought that's the guy you should have kept, and you should have traded away De'Aaron Fox. Right. And I still like Halliburton more. I think he has more upside for him. But Sabonis and Fox, man, this is a deadly duo.
They're looking good.
Their pick and roll game is looking like one of the best in the league already.
Yeah. You got that thread. De'Aaron Fox can run by pretty much everybody, and then you still have a guy that can just shoot it right over. Yeah, great.
So those are some of our biggest surprises, folks. Let us know in the chat what's been a big surprise for you. Disappointment, RB.
Ooh. Well, just also building off what you guys said, I feel like this year has been a year that speaks to culture as well. Even though a lot of these teams have major distractions or obstacles, like they're still finding their way to fight through. So it's very interesting to see. I agree. And in terms of my disappointment, it's a team that I thought was kind of building that culture, and it's the Atlanta Hawks. Building on that run last year. Obviously, I know best. Saw it firsthand. It still stings, but at the end of the day, Trae Young is a great player. I'm not going to take that away from him. But man, the Hawks just kind of took a nosedive, and you almost start to think are they one of those teams that made a magical run, but they never were really that close, and they end up shipping away Cam Reddish, who barely even gets any minutes with New York.
Mhm.
I thought Capella was really fitting into his role there alongside Trey. I felt like they were establishing that chemistry. I really like Nate McMillan. He was a guy last year when I remember the Hawks firing their coach before All-Star weekend, and I'm like, all right, the Hawks will sit afloat. But man, Nate McMillan, he took that team by storm, man. And when I, obviously I saw my team play a whole series against them. They have guys that can shoot. They have guys that can just fit their roles. They don't have to be, star-studded players. And Trey has still been individually great this year. So I guess my disappointment is just to see them sitting at the 10 seed right now. And it's like, all right, they might be a bottom of the barrel playing team, but I really thought even if they didn't get back to where they were last year, I thought they would be a team to kind of stay the par, be a mid-tier team, but they just haven't lived up to it so far. So I got to go with the Hawks.
I really love that one. Hawks
Yeah.
have been definitely one of the most disappointing teams
Yes.
this year. And like you said, Trey Young, he's still doing his thing. The offense in general is it hasn't taken a step back from what it was last year. It's averaging the same points as it was last year. Last year was like 113. Right now they're at almost at 113, like 112 point something, whatever it is. But the biggest thing is that their defense is so trash. They're the third worst defense in efficiency. They're terrible. Yeah, they put up points, but they give up more points.
Yeah.
Hawks they got to figure something out because it is like just horrible to watch right now. Now, if you're a Hawks fan, a thing that you could be optimistic about is after the break, you guys do have the 5th easiest schedule. So get it together because your defense is bad.
Yes.
Matt the Legend with the 149 Glizzy. Thank you so much, Matt the Legend. Appreciate you, homie. Thank you, everybody who's tuning in, by the way. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up and go subscribe to Rocha and RB if you guys haven't done so already.
Let's do it.
Rocha, what's your biggest disappointment this year?
I think we'll have to stay in the East, and that's the New York Knicks, man. I thought for sure last year they were building something special with the defense. Well, they went out to try to get some offense. It didn't work, and the defense then took a plunger. Josh has talked about Tibbs a lot, man. He's just not the coach out there in New York, and they've just been a very big disappointment. Julius Randle's not playing like he did last year. RJ Barrett's so inconsistent. They've just been a very disappointed team this year, man.
Why trade for a player like RB was saying and not play him at all?
Yeah.
Right? I feel like there's a disconnect between the coach and the front office. Because why would they do that? And then
that's exactly what I said as soon as it happened, and he wasn't getting any minutes. I'm like, there's obviously a disconnect between the front office and Tom Thibodeau. They're not on the same page. Yeah. They don't seem to be on the same timeline either. And I think Tom Thibodeau's time is probably going to be wrapping up after this season. Because it's just really bad. You look at last year, Roach, the New York Knicks. I mean, their offense was really bad, and they're like, let's work on that. Right, even if we have to take a dip in defense because it was pretty damn good last year, right? Last year they were 3rd in defense efficiency. Well, let's take a little dip in that and let's bring up our offense because we really need it if we're going to stack up against these other teams, right? Thing is, their defense, it took a step back, a bigger step back than they thought it was going to, and their offense right now is the 4th worst scoring offense in the league. So that plan of let's get better offensively, let's go get Fournier and Kemba Walker, not working out. Fournier, he'll have some nice games, guys, but sometimes he'll just bust out and have a terrible game.
There's some nights where we see this dude go off for 9 threes and 45 points. Then the next night he'll go out there put 5. It's just this team is just very consistent and just not the team we saw last year, man. Not even close.
Yeah, and you know what's crazy is Roach is exactly right when he talks about that team. They were really building kind of that magic last year. And in fact, when I look back now, I almost think about it was that kind of the reason of their downfall as well? They went out and they overpaid Nerlens Noel and the Alec Burks of the world. It's maybe they just kind of fell in love with that identity and they didn't realize eventually we're going to have to put the guy on top of that, the 2 guys on top. And like you just said, Evan Fournier, I don't know that I agree with you 100%. I think their front office is on a completely different page, and now they're kind of in a muddy situation, man.
Yeah, absolutely. And let's talk about Julius Randle regressing this year. I mean, he dropped 5 points per game. Like he was averaging 24 last year. He's averaging 19 right now. And
terrible.
he took a dip in his 3-point shooting. He went from 41 down to 30% 3-point shooting. Just all around, even his effort sometimes just looks questionable this year.
100%.
Yeah.
There's times where you see him just like hand the ball off, set a screen, and then go sit and stand in the corner. Like he doesn't want to be part of the offense.
And we all know you can't do that in New York.
No.
Oh, they'll let you hear it.
Mm-hmm.
So
that's a great one, Rocha.
Yeah.
QC dropping that highlight right there. Been a member for 18 months at the Cult of Fury Elite. Let's go, QC. I respect all these gentlemen on screen right now. I thought I said screenshot. Screenshotting. Thank you, QC.
Thank you.
All right, QC.
And then Wild's also member for 16 months Elite. Thank you. He's talking about his Knicks. My Knicks are disappointing every year, so I didn't get my hopes up. Can't say it's surprising.
That's tough, man.
Yeah.
So some really good ones. Sean, disappointment?
I'm gonna go away from the team aspect. I'm gonna go with Mr. Zion. I'm just disappointed in the fact that it looked like he gave no fucks. Like he was fat. He looked like he was being lazy. Like he didn't care about playing over there. I saw a report that even when CJ McCollum got traded, he didn't reach out to him. He finally did, apparently, after CJ said that, I haven't talked to Zion.
Too late.
Yeah, now you want to call him? He's trying to save face. I'm disappointed in it. Like, do you not, like, you're building yourself a bad reputation. If you don't want to play in New Orleans, that's fine. You don't have to resign with them, right? You can ask a trade, but you're giving yourself a bad rep. And I don't know. I'm a little disappointed in Zion for everything that's going on. Now I know he's dealing with injury, but just the simple fact when he wasn't in shape, like you can't control what you can't control. You can't control your injury, but at least you just stay in shape, man. Put in effort. I don't know. I'm just disappointed in Zion also.
Yep. I hope he's not doing this to force his way out. Like I mean, there were question marks on whether or not he was going to start opening night.
Yeah.
Some people thought he was.
Yep.
Yeah.
That was opening night. So then he does it. All right. Well, maybe he's a few games away.
Yeah.
A week or so. No, we're at All-Star break. He still hasn't played.
He probably won't play for the whole year.
I mean, apparently he really badly wants to play with John Morant. He's trying to force his way out here. Like I've been saying this for a while. I've been saying this since last year.
Yeah.
Trade this dude.
They need to.
Trade him.
Mm-hmm.
They need to. And they have a good team over there, too.
They do.
They're not a terrible team.
Well, no, they're on paper they got really good roster. I mean, they have a really good names on the roster.
Mm-hmm.
They're just not really well together.
Yeah.
And if you want to be a superstar in this league, that falls on you just as much as anything.
So Sean's going with Zion.
I like that, Sean. That's a good one.
I'm gonna go with the Los Angeles Lakers.
Yes.
I'll go with the Lakers. There was a lot of hype going into him. I kind of bought into it a little bit. Why did I do that? I have no idea. My goodness, LeBron's having a great season. LeBron James, I mean, he's one of the top scorers in the league still at his age. And I mean, their offensive scoring is not that bad. They're a top 10 scoring offense. Their defense is just really awful. It's the 5th worst defense in the league.
God.
They're a 9 seed currently, and they are 3-7 in the last 10 games. The chemistry couldn't be more bad than what it has been in years past. Westbrook added to this team was a disaster. He doesn't fit this squad.
Nope.
Frank Vogel doesn't know what the hell to do. There's no magic fix here. There's no like certain lineup he can put together that might be the best way to. There's nothing here.
That's terrible.
There's nothing to fix here. This team is a disaster. And then Anthony Davis going down. That was unfortunate, man. That sucks for him, dude.
Yep.
But the Lakers, my God, you guys are just a headache sometimes, man. And why did you go get Westbrook? Why did you do that? Why did you do that?
I don't understand how you trade your entire bench for Westbrook. You knew what you were getting. You're getting a guy who's just not going to win. We've seen it no matter where he's been. OKC, Houston. The dude can't win. Yeah, he took Washington to the playoffs last year. All right, cool. But the dude can't win. The dude just throws up bricks, and his effort sometimes is just terrible. I don't understand. And AD, man, one of the best players in this league, but the dude is fragile. He can't stay healthy. We saw it last year. We're seeing it again this year. And the Lakers they're just falling apart, and they could potentially miss the playoffs at this point.
They could, Roach. They really could. I mean, looking at their strength of schedule, it's third worst,
Ugh.
third toughest the
Yikes.
rest of the way.
And they're 9th right now.
The 9th,
You
yeah.
got the Spurs coming. Clippers are still doing okay,
Right there.
despite having no Kawhi Leonard,
That's-
no Norman Powell right
Sure.
now, who they just traded for, no Paul
Yeah.
George.
Yeah.
If
they're still
the
running.
Blazers could get Dame back, win some more games.
Yeah, they could fall out. We'll see.
Mhm.
The Lakers though, they remind it just the last couple years, ever since they won the championship, it feels like they're confused what they want to do. Like I remember last year, right before the season start, or like last year's offseason. Remember they were going to re-sign Dwight Howard, right? They're like, Dwight Howard tweeted that shit out, said it's a done deal. I'm coming back, LA. We're going to make another run. And then out of nowhere, they're we're going to go after Marcel. What? And then he left. Now they brought him back, but it's like too late, right? You're fixing your mistake. This year, the same thing happened with DeMar DeRozan, your boy. He even came out and said, they told my agent it was a done deal.
That's right.
And then all of a sudden they trade for Westbrook. Like, what the? It's like it's like they're confused. Like the two different people are running shit and they don't know what the hell is going on. It's just weird.
How much better would they look with DeMar DeRozan, Kyle Kuzma, and that bench more than this team right now?
But just bad management.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you guys, hey, that was awesome. Big disappointments. Everybody, I had on my list here. I got written Lakers, Knicks, Hawks, Zion. I also have the Nets. They're 2-8 in their last 10. They become a disappointment. I
That's
mean,
another one.
they're without KD.
Yeah.
Kyrie he's half a man, half a season, like Charles says. And we'll see when Big Ben is going to be playing. Ben 10.
Supposedly, Kyrie says, just wait till you see us after the All-Star break. Well, we'll see him half the time.
Right.
So.
T-Web in the chat says all these guys on screen right now have great teams. So we don't have to
worry about that.
You don't have to be like any of these guys.
I'm glad our team are
thanks.
biggest disappointments of the season.
Donnie says, "What you said, the Pacers are a disappointment right now." A bit, yes, because I thought Rick Carlisle would have been a better head coach for the Pacers than they were.
Yeah.
He couldn't make the chemistry work between Turner and Sabonis.
Yeah.
So and then I'd say they've been a bit disappointing.
Yeah, because I thought Sabonis would have a great year over there, and he was having a good year. And I thought they were going to trade Miles Turner, and then I don't know what happened with that. Maybe they're going to keep Sabonis over Turner, but they decided to keep Turner over Sabonis, which I'm a little shocked about. But that is true. That's a little disappointing.
Yeah, I think I had them around a play-in team to back into the playoff team, and they just been very disappointed this year, man. But I do love them getting Halliburton for their future, man. He's already been great for them in a few games. Same with Buddy Hield. Maybe Buddy Hield just needed out of Sacramento. Duarte. They got a young, bright future with those three right there, man.
The only issue is that Carlisle's not good at developing young talent. So, but these guys are already talented enough. They're showing it on the court. So, he does good with talent. The guys that are already pretty good. I just hope he.
I think Rick Carlisle. I mean, I don't think he might I don't think he lasts long in Indiana.
One and done.
I don't know about one and done, but I don't think he lasts long.
He might last only like 2 or 3 seasons.
Yeah,
I can see that.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, so there's our biggest surprise and disappointments. That was a great topic, guys. You guys really nailed it right there. So let's get into our Eastern Conference seed predictions for the second part of the season, and then we'll revisit this once the season ends and we're about to go into the playoffs. Okay, see how we did. All right. I mean, there's only like 20-something games left.
Yeah,
but there's some tight races here in the Eastern Conference.
Oh, there
very
is.
much.
Oh my
God.
The East has been incredible this year, man. It's been so much fun to watch.
Yeah. I mean, you look at the Eastern Conference right now, and the Brooklyn Nets are at 8th seed, but they're 7 games behind first place. They get KD back.
Yeah, one good
run.
They've
been Simmons to play.
Changes that drastically.
Right, exactly. Milwaukee Bucks are at 5th seed, but they're 2.5 games back.
Yeah,
like
exactly.
It's a tight race.
Well, there's 3 teams that are 2.5 games behind. That's crazy, man.
So you guys play along with us in the chat. We're gonna go from 1 through 10 because it's 1 through 8, and then you got to factor in the play-in teams too.
Yeah.
All right. So let's go with the 1 seed in the Eastern Conference. Who gets the 1 seed for you, Sean?
1 seed, RB's gonna like some say 76ers.
76ers.
Embiid's on an MVP level right now, and you add in a guy like Harden. As long as I think the 76ers could. I think they could.
Okay, RB.
Well, my man's gonna like this. I'm going with the Bulls.
Nice.
Oh, let's go.
Doubles.
Yeah, I knew Josh would like it. Look, hey, I guess we're all just gonna go in a circle here, but yeah, and I didn't want to sound too biased here, but look, the Chicago Bulls they've been playing great, man. I got to give it up to DeRozan earlier this year when he hit those back-to-back game winners, man. I was like, this dude's for real, and I never said it was the worst contract. I was curious to see how it would work in Chicago with all the new pieces. But man, Billy Donovan has those boys playing, man. And even though the Bulls are, still have a lot of guys injured, I just think like the culture is different there. And I think they're going to win a lot of games. It's going to be a tight race, but I got the Bulls finishing number 1.
I like this guy. We're gonna have you on more often, RB. Rocha, one seed.
I actually have the team that's currently first right now, Miami. I think they're healthy. They're playing great, and I think they keep that number 1 seed the rest of the second half, man. Butler, Bam, Tyler Hero. Love how the way they're playing.
All right. I'm going to agree with you, Rocha. I'm going to go with the Miami Heat as the first seed when the season ends. Yeah. I mean, I look at their schedule. They have a pretty easy schedule the rest of the way, and I'm going to just think that these guys, they're going to be healthy the rest of the way. Hopefully they are.
Hopefully.
I think they're the best overall defensive team, in my opinion, once they're all there.
They're a monster.
Tyler Hero coming off the bench. I'm going to go with the Miami Heat as the 1 seed.
Okay.
Number 2, second seed, Sean.
I'm gonna go with Miami. I'm gonna go Miami. They're gonna stay up there. They're just getting healthy. They were number 1 seed before they were really fully healthy. So yeah, they'll be number 2.
RB.
I'm gonna go with my 76ers. We've been sitting at the 3 seed with essentially 1/3 of our salary cap starting lineup as a big hole, gaping hole. Embiid's been playing up to another level. I think it's going to take about 5 to 10 games for Harden to really get incorporated. When he does, I think it's going to be scary. And I think the Sixers are just going to keep winning most of their games, man. I got them as the 2 seed.
Rocha?
I have doubles as my number 2 seed, man. They're going to get healthy in the second half of the season. Lonzo will be back. Caruso. DeRozan's going to stay an MVP candidate. And I think as Chicago gets more and more healthy, the more and more scary they'll be, and the more games they're going to win down the stretch.
Okay. My number 2 seed is going to be the Philadelphia 76ers. Good schedule. Harden's going to be playing. It's going to make this team even deadlier. They got the offense. They got the defense. Give me the Sixers as 2.
Yep.
Third seed, Sean.
I'm going to go with your Bulls, Josh.
Doubles.
So they dropped once. They're 2 right now. Drop them down 1. They're 3rd seed. I think, especially if y'all are doing this without being healthy, like you talked about earlier. Once Caruso comes back, y'all should finish in the top 3. So y'all could be 2. Y'all could be 1. I have y'all 3 though.
Okay. RB.
I got Milwaukee at number 3. I think, the late season experience will start to kick in. The Bucks will win a handful of games. They'll gear up for the playoffs. Obviously, Giannis has still had a great year and he just continues to lead. And now he's kind of got like that pedigree and that experience on his shoulder. I think the Bucks are going to tighten up down the stretch here.
Roach.
I have this guy's team, the 76ers at 3, man. Listen, people debate who won that trade. Who cares who won that trade? Why? The Sixers got rid of a headache in Ben Simmons, and they got James Harden. You automatically have maybe the best duo in the NBA with Harden and Embiid, man. So I think they're going to be winning a lot of games down the stretch. I'm excited to see Embiid and Harden together, and they're going to be my number 3 seed. They'll stay right where they are.
I will go with the Milwaukee Bucks being the 3rd seed in the Eastern Conference, same as RB.
Ooh.
All right. Michael Sachs Jr. with the $2 donation says Cavs get the number 1 seed. If the Cavs get the number 1 overall seed, that would be extremely impressive.
That would be incredible.
Even more so than I already have been.
Yeah.
Thank you so much, Michael Sachs Jr. for the $2 donation. All right. 4th seed, Sean.
This is where I will put the Milwaukee Bucks. I will put the Bucks. They'll take like these new additions, right? They just made some trades. They also got Serge Ibaka, right?
Yes. They got Ibaka and they just signed Javon Carter.
Javon Carter, that's who I thought they saw. Okay. Yeah. So I think this is where the Bucks will be. Definitely excited to see what Serge Ibaka does over there. So
hardest schedule rest of the way.
They have the hardest schedule. Wow.
But they have the talent, man. They still have the talent to survive that. So
RB?
I'll go with Miami here. I will say I don't want to play them in the playoffs. That is the one team I don't want to play just because, Kyle Lowry, Jimmy Butler, PJ Tucker, just guys like that who are going to get on your nerves. Yeah, I had him as the 3 or 4 seed to begin the year, and I got him as the 4 seed, man.
Okay. 4 seed for you, Roach.
I agree with Sean here. I got the Bucks. I think they'll leap over the Cavs here with them a 4 seed. They got one of the best rosters in the league when healthy. Giannis is just going to take off here in the second half. And I got the Bucks sneaking into that 4 seed here.
My 4 seed is going to be the Bulls. I have the Chicago Bulls falling here a little bit to the 4 seed. Here's why. We have the second hardest schedule going to the rest of the way. We have a brutal schedule immediately coming up. We play some tough teams. And listen, we've been winning some pretty good games here. DeMar DeRozan's on an MVP level right now, but we are really going to need our guys back, and we're still a ways away from getting Lonzo Ball back. We're expecting him next month, as well as Caruso, and hopefully we get Patrick Williams back towards, maybe the last 2 weeks of the season.
Yeah.
But, so I say, being a little bit shorthanded, having a brutal schedule coming up, we get a 4th seed, and that's respectable because these other teams that I have ahead of us are really great teams that potentially could go all the way, and it's just that tight right now in the Eastern Conference. I'll go Bulls 4. 5 for you, Sean. 5th seed.
I'm gonna go Cleveland. They're 4th seed right now, but I think they will drop because I have Bucks jumping them, so I'm gonna go Cavs.
All right, RB.
I'm in agreement with Sean. I got the Cavs. I think this has come far enough where we're like, okay, this team actually is going to win games, and they're going to be somewhat of a threat in the playoffs, at least for the first round. So I got the Cavs.
Rocha.
I agree with them. I got Cavs here too. They're a solid team. I think they stick right there at the 5 seed.
All right, for me at 5, I have the Cleveland Cavaliers. They have the 9th easiest schedule. They could even be better. Who knows?
Absolutely.
5 Cavaliers.
Nice.
All right, 6th seed. 6th seed for me. I'm going to go with the Toronto Raptors. We'll go with Raptors at 6. Sean?
I like that. They've been red hot. This is actually where I think Brooklyn will be.
Brooklyn?
I think Brooklyn's going to go on a little run. Hopefully KD should be coming back healthy and hopefully in the next week or so. The newest additions, we already know Ben Simmons, his mental state should be healthy now after he got traded. Seth Curry's been tearing it up, so I got Nets jumping up to the 6.
For you, RB?
I'm also going with the Raptors. I'm going to second that. I think Nick Nurse has a great program in Toronto, and he's championship coach, and he's going to have his boys ready to play, man. So I got the Raptors at 6.
Rocha.
I'm in agreement. I got the Nets, actually. I agree. I got the Nets here at 6. I think they'll start getting Kevin Durant back. They're going to get Ben Simmons back. I think they'll win some games down the stretch, and they'll hop into that number 6 seed.
All right, 7th seed for me. I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics. I'm going to go with the Boston Celtics at 7.
I'm going to go Toronto.
Toronto?
Yeah, I have Toronto 7.
RB?
I got Boston as well.
Boston. All right. I like it. Rocha?
I'm with Josh and RB. I got Boston at 7 as well.
Okay. 8th seed. This is where I have the Brooklyn Nets. 8th seed.
Okay.
Because, they got a pretty hard schedule to the west of the way. When is KD coming back? It better be soon. Because when I'm looking at their schedule right now, there's some games that they could really lose. They're in a major slump right now, one of the worst slumps in the NBA. Kyrie Irving, he can only play so many of these games, and they really need Simmons here too. But when is he going to play? And how long is it going to take for them to get it together with the chemistry and everything? So I'm going to go with the Nets at 8. And in fact, this might be what they want to be, an 8th seed. They might want to be an 8th seed because it might benefit them to be having more road games in the playoffs than the home games.
That is very true.
So this might be strategic right here. Brooklyn at 8.
That's true.
9th seed. For me, I'm going to go with the Atlanta Hawks. Sean?
Okay.
In the play-in.
With the 8th or the 9th seed?
We didn't go through our 8 seeds.
Oh my God! I'm so sorry.
You're good, bro.
My bad. My bad.
Yeah.
The 8th seed is where I have Boston.
Okay,
I have Boston.
Okay.
All right. RB.
Well, might be a bit of a hot take. I got the Charlotte Hornets at
Hornets.
Ooh,
Nice.
Okay.
They've been struggling, but it sometimes it takes a break, a little pause, kind of get things together. I still think they have a lot of talent. I think the Hornets are going to go on a little bit of a run here. And we'll get to Brooklyn later.
Nice. Rocha.
8th seed for me is the Raptors. Just real quick, they've been one of my surprises of the year, man. I didn't expect them to be this good. I thought they want to make the playoffs, but their chemistry they have being back in Toronto, man, I love it. So give me the Raptors in my 8th seed.
Okay, you already know my 9th. Hawks.
I'm gonna go Charlotte Hornets right here.
Hornets.
Yeah, I'm gonna go Hornets.
RB.
I got the Brooklyn Nets at number 2. Hear me out. Look, man, Kyrie Irving, like you said, there's a reason they signed Goran Dragic, okay? And it's not because he's Steve Nash's old teammate. I'm telling you, they're concerned a little bit about his availability down the stretch. In terms of Ben, when will he play? Kevin Durant, when will he play? And will he be in shape? Will he be ready? Will the chemistry be there? You got a lot of guys who like to handle the ball on the floor. My personal opinion, just me, I think the Nets are kind of looking more towards the future a little bit. And I mean, I don't know if they think they can go all the way this year, but anyway, I got Brooklyn at number 9. I think it's going to be a little bit harder than people think for them to mesh.
Okay, I like that.
Okay. Yeah. All right, Rocha.
My 9th seed is the Hornets. I love what they got going over there, man. They're really solid over there. So I got them as my 9th seed.
All right. 10th seed. This is where I got the Hornets. I think the Hornets will be the 10th seed. I think the 9th and 10th is between the Hawks and the Hornets. Here's why. Both defenses are bad. Awful. And the Hornets, their defense, I mean, it's probably worse than the Atlanta Hawks. It's that bad. They have no front court rim protection, even with Montrezl Harrell, because that's not what he really is.
Yeah.
They're that bad on that side of the ball.
It's true.
And I think they finish as a 10th seed.
Okay.
Yeah. Mine, like you said, it's going to be between Charlotte and Atlanta right there. So I got Atlanta at my 10th seed.
Yep.
So,
RB?
I'm in agreement. I got Atlanta. I think it could be toss-up, but between the last 3, but I think the Hawks, I think they finish at the bottom.
Roach?
Yeah, same. I got Atlanta at 10. I think they'll sneak into that last play-in spot.
Okay, cool. So there you guys have it. There's our 1 through 10. Thank you guys for playing along in the chat. I saw some of you guys have some interesting takes on y'all seeding. Now let's move over to the Western Conference, and we'll start off with the 1 seed. For me, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns, staying at number 1. Monty Williams doing a great job with these guys, even with Chris Paul having to be out for quite some time, probably the rest of the regular season. I still think they're going to win games because they have the 6th easiest schedule the rest of the way. And Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton is still there. They're going to be getting some other guys back as well. Give me Suns at 1, Sean.
I think so too. Suns have been really impressive. They only have 10 losses. That's amazing, right? And they barely hit that 10th loss not too long ago. So, yeah, give me the Phoenix Suns to stay at number 1.
Okay. All right, RB.
Yeah, I got the Suns, man. I don't think there's much doubt there. I mean, they're just a great team, man.
Right. Rocha.
I got the Golden. No, I'm kidding. I got the Suns at 1, man. Even without Chris Paul, they're still arguably they are the best team in the NBA. It seems like the Warriors are the only team that can actually beat them. They're not losing. Give me the Suns at 1.
Okay. All right. We have a donation here from Fox. Says Timberwolves winning it all.
Okay. Right.
Fox, I'll give you $100 if that happens. Okay? Thank you so much, buddy, for the $2 donation. Number 2 overall seed in the Western Conference. For me, it's going to be the Memphis Grizzlies.
Ooh.
I love their schedule the rest of the way. It's the 3rd easiest.
I like that.
They've been winning games, and they're going to be getting Dylan Brooks back here pretty soon.
True.
They're going to continue going on a tear. John Morant's just that special. Give me Grizzlies at 2.
Ooh.
Sean?
I actually do have the Grizzlies at 2 also. John Morant's had an MVP type year, and especially if they finish 2. Whew. But yeah, give me Memphis to be number 2.
Okay. RB?
I'll take, man. I'm still rocking with the Warriors. They've been playing great all year, man. They're a quality team, and they're for real, man.
Yeah.
All right. Roach?
I debated on this. Do I have my Warriors dropped or have the Grizzlies taken over? Nah. I think the Warriors would do enough for the second half to maintain that 2nd seed. Where they get healthy, would get Draymond, would get Wiseman back. Iguodala hopefully back too for defense. Our defense is going to improve, and we'll stick at the number 2 seed.
Okay. And QC, to answer your question, Grizzlies are 3rd easiest rest of the way.
Fuck.
Yeah. 3rd easiest. Now, 3rd seed for me is the Golden State Warriors. And that's not a terrible thing. 3rd seed for the Warriors. I think that's, prior to the season, I thought you guys would be a 7th seed maybe.
Yeah, I thought,
like an 8th seed. But you guys have a pretty tough schedule the rest of the way. You face Sean's Dallas Mavericks twice and these other really good teams. Sean?
Yeah, I'm going Warriors as well. I don't think they're going to fall too far. Just one spot, I think. So Warriors at 3.
RB?
I got the Grizzlies, man. And if my team was in the West, let me tell you, I would not want to play the Grizzlies in the first round.
Yeah. Yeah. Rocha?
Grizzlies, the one team I'm really afraid of. The Grizzlies at 3.
Okay. At number 4, I have the Dallas Mavericks as a 4th seed.
Let's go.
Potentially maybe even be better.
Yeah, I hope so.
What do you got?
You call me Rocha again?
I don't know why. I don't know why.
No, I'm going Dallas as well. That's where I want us to be, at least 4th seed. Could we be higher? Yeah, we're playing. If we stay on this red hot streak, we possibly could. But no, I think Dallas will be 4th seed. I think we'll be able to jump ahead of Utah. We're only a game and a half behind them right now, and I just want to be in the top 4. That's all I want. Top 4 gives home court advantage, home court advantage in the first round. And maybe we can finally actually win a round, playoff round.
There you go.
Please.
RB?
Actually, going to go with a bit of a hot take here. I got the Denver Nuggets climbing up a few spots. As much as I love Joel Embiid, man, I love the way Jokic is playing. I got to give him his respect. The reason I like the Nuggets here is because nobody's going to be paying attention to them, right? Obviously, you like Jokic, but they still got a lot of guys out there not in the spotlight. So I like them climbing up the board a little bit.
Love it. Rocha?
Yeah. I actually have Utah staying here at 4. I think they're a really good team. And I think down the stretch, they're going to win enough games to get into that top 4 seed. So I'm sticking with Utah.
All right. Okay. Jazz for you at 4. 5th seed in the Western Conference. This is where I have the Utah Jazz. They got a good team over there. Rudy Gobert, great defensive player. We got, Donovan Mitchell gets spot over there.
Yeah, they do. Clarkson.
But their schedule is really tough, man. It's the 5th hardest the rest of the way. I think they dropped to 5. I think Dallas is a better team than them right now. So going Jazz at 5. You
say that again, Josh. No, this is actually where I'm going to put Denver.
Ooh.
I'm going to put Denver at 5. And I kind of hope so, man. Dallas and Denver, when we battle it out, it's always fun to watch. And I'd love to see that playoff matchup, right? Jokic and Luka are great friends, and they always do really well together. So I think this is where Denver kind of jumps up and starts getting rolling. So they get 5th seed.
RB?
I got the Mavs at 5, man. I'll be honest, I didn't think they would be that high this year. I thought they'd be a little bit lower, but Luka's the real deal, man. And I mean, if you don't believe that at this point, I don't know what you're watching. Luka's the man. So I got them at the 5 seed.
All right. Rocha?
I got the Denver Nuggets at the 5 seed. I really like how Denver's playing right now, man. Jokic is on a tear once again. Monte Morris hit that buzzer beater against the Warriors to break up back going into the break. He's playing well. Will Barnes playing well. I actually got Dallas here at the 5th seed.
Okay. 6th seed. For me, I'm going to go with the Denver Nuggets here. I think they stay at 6.
Okay.
Sean?
I'm going. This is where I have Utah. I'm dropping a couple spots. You said they had the 5th toughest, right?
5th toughest.
Yeah. Utah drops a little bit.
RB?
I also got Utah dropping a little bit, man. There's been some questions about kind of the chemistry and stuff, and I see them falling a few spots.
Rocha?
This is where I got the Mavericks. Listen, they're a great team. I love the Mavericks and the way they play, but I just feel like Denver and Utah are a little bit better right now than the Mavericks, and I think the Mavericks fall down to 6.
Okay. All right. 7th seed. Who do you guys got the 7th seed? For me, I'm going to go with the Minnesota Timberwolves as a 7th seed. This is a team that's been kind of under the radar this year. They are a very efficient starting lineup in the NBA, especially on the offensive side. Cat, D'Angelo Russell, man, Anthony Edwards has been really incredible this year.
Yeah.
I'm going to go Timberwolves at 7. Sean?
I have them staying at 7 too. Like, Cat is having a great year. God, I love it. Even though he thinks he's the best big man shooter of all time, that's not true, Dirkus. But no, he's having a great year. Can't deny that. So Minnesota at 7.
I mean, yeah, there you go. They're one of the top scoring offenses in the league right now. RB?
Yep, I'm right behind you guys. T-Wolves at 7. Fun team to watch. Cat's been great.
There you go. Rocha?
Unanimous all around. Give me the T-Wolves, man. They're a fun young team to watch.
All right.
Hit it.
All right, 8th seed. I'm going with the San Antonio Spurs.
Whoa!
Getting the 8th seed. I like them more than some of these other teams hanging around that bubble.
Okay.
I'm going to go Spurs. You?
Oh, that's a good one, Josh.
Wow.
You know what? I'm going to go Clippers. Even without Paul George and Kawhi Leonard, like we mentioned earlier, they're still winning. Shocking, or at least that conversation, right? And hopefully we'll see when Norman Powell comes back. Paul George, he's supposed to be reevaluated actually here soon.
Yeah.
So he might come back, and if since they're still in the playoff hunt and stuff like that, they might, say, screw it, let's play. He's still, so they might not shut him down. So I'll keep Clippers right here because I'm hoping that Paul George comes back.
RB?
I'm also going with the Clips, man. Another team I feel that has nothing to lose this year. Just kind of playing with some house money there. I got them winning some games, man.
Okay, Rocha.
I'll go the Clips as well at 8. I think that's a perfect spot for them. They're finding ways to win games with the top players. Getting Paul George back will help them even more.
Okay, there you go. The ninth seed. I've been battling back and forth right here at this one.
Yeah.
I'm going to go with the Los Angeles Clippers. I have them just behind the San Antonio Spurs for me because I think, well, not that I think, it's a fact. The Spurs are a better scoring offense than the Los Angeles Clippers. They have an easier schedule the rest of the way, and they're also a better defensive team as well and better coached. This is what I trust more going rest of the way. So I'll go with the Clippers behind the Spurs here at 9. Sean?
At 9, I'm actually going to have the Spurs there.
Okay.
They will make it into the bubble. Even though they're going to get swept by my Mavs, right, Corrupt? But yeah, I think the Spurs, man, DeJounte Murray is having an amazing year. And so, yeah, give me them at 9.
RB?
I promise I'm not copying Sean, but I got the Spurs as well, man. Yeah, I got them. I got them at number 9.
Rocha?
I got the Los Angeles Lakers here at 9. I think they're going to do enough winning down the stretch. LeBron's not going to miss the playoffs. I think they're sneaking and be a bubble team or a playing team. Sorry. I'm going to go Lakers at 9.
Okay. And 10th seed, just making the bubble, just making the play-in tournament, Los Angeles Lakers. Lakers, like I said earlier, they have the third hardest schedule the rest of the way. No Anthony Davis until we figure out a timeline here. Yeah, I'm going to go with the Lakers.
Yeah, this is why I have the Lakers as well. No, Jesus, Anthony Davis, that just sucked. When we saw that happen. They still have the chemistry issues. I know Westbrook's had some good games here and there, but yeah, give me Lakers at 10.
All right. RB?
Yep, Lakers, man. Just because they have a 10th seed, man. Just because I got the Lakers just sneaking in. They just don't seem like a team, man.
Okay.
Yeah.
Rocha?
This is where I have San Antonio. It's between the Blazers and the San Antonio. Blazers are rebuilding. San Antonio, they have a young, nice squad. DeJounte Murray is going to carry that team into the final play-in seed.
Okay. All right. There you guys have it. There's our seed predictions 1 through 10 for the Eastern Conference and Western Conference. We'll see how it all plays out. It's going to be a tight race.
It's going to be fun, man. I so looking
Also,
forward to it.
what's going to be a tight race are the awards for the regular season. It's a tight race between Rookie of the Year, Coach of the Year. I don't know, some of them, like Rookie of the Year, that. But MVP, it's a tight race. So let's get into some of these things, and we'll start off with the Rookie of the Year. This one might not be all that tight. For me, it's going to be Evan Mobley. He's a clear-cut favorite right here. He has been absolutely better than what people thought he was going to be, and that was pretty high expectations for Evan Mobley. Yeah. The offense has been way better than they thought. The defense has been incredible. He's a two-way star in the making. He makes great decisions. He has a great shot on him. It's Mobley's to lose. Sean?
Yeah, I don't think anybody can argue that. Mobley. Only other person I might, depending on how he's been looking as of late, is Giddey. If he continues on this path, but I think it's Mobley because of how great he started.
RB?
It's got to be Evan Mobley, man. Cavs have been great.
Yep. Rocha?
Unanimous. Evan Mobley's a double-double machine, man. He's going to be Rookie of the Year.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. So we all agree right there.
Yes,
now
sir.
moving on to Defensive Player of the Year. For me, you know what, Roach? If he didn't get hurt, missed some games, I think it would have been probably Draymond Green. Probably would have been Defensive Player of the Year. But ultimately, I think it's going to be between Rudy Gobert, Joel Embiid. I also like Bridges, what he's been doing. But I'm going to go with Rudy Gobert. Maybe Giannis. No, you know what? give me Giannis again.
Giannis?
Giannis.
Okay.
I'll go Giannis. Sean?
Jeez. I'm going to go Rudy. I'll go Rudy.
I think it could be
tough.
between those two. It's
There's
just so
so many.
good.
There's actually a lot of good players. Even Like
Jaren Jackson Jr. should be a candidate too.
Triple
Yeah,
J,
up there too now. Yep.
DeJounte Murray with this, he's
Mhm.
great defensively, but I got to go Rudy Gobert. Dang.
Okay, RB.
I'm gonna go with Giannis, and I'll tell you why.
All right.
I really like Draymond Green, but obviously he's hurt. I was thinking Joel Embiid, but well, I don't want to spoil anything else. We'll get to that. And Rudy Gobert, I just don't think they're going to give it to him. Back to back. I think Giannis is the guy. So,
okay, Rocha.
My defensive player of the year is Draymond Green, but he's not going to qualify for enough games. So I'm going to agree with Josh and go Giannis. I think Giannis is going to win defensive player of the year because Draymond will not be able to play enough games to qualify for it. Otherwise, it's Draymond.
I mean, Giannis has been incredible, dude.
Yes.
He's been great at guarding inside the paint. I mean, I don't think there's really, other than Rudy Gobert, better than Giannis as of right now.
True.
I mean, he's averaging 1.4 blocks per game. He's contesting 10.1 shots per game. His numbers right here are just incredible. When he's guarding somebody, their percentage of them scoring drops dramatically when they're being guarded by Giannis.
Wow.
So near the basket, he's been one of the best in the league, if not the best. And he's also been guarding the perimeter as well. So it's going to be Giannis, I think.
Agreed.
But all right, let's move on to most improved player of the year. This is going to be really interesting. Man, there's some really good candidates. You got Desmond Bain, you got Miles Bridges, you got DeJounte Murray, Darius Garland, Tyler Hero. But for me, I'm going to go with most improved, Ja Morant. I think it's going to be his to lose. Typically, they go with a guy who's on a team that's winning a lot of games.
That's true.
Sometimes there's outliers in that, but for the most part, it's usually to a guy who's on a team who's winning a lot of games. And Ja Morant is on that superstar level right now. He was averaging right now 26 points per game. Last year, he was averaging 19. So that's a 7-point jump in points per game. He's assisted the ball better. He's shooting better. And his defense is getting better too. So, so field goal percentage, everything, just all across the board is better. And then he's propelling his team to a top 3 seed right now in the Western Conference. Give me Ja. Sean?
Oh, Ja's a good one. I'm going to go a little different. I'm going to go DeJounte Murray.
Oh, okay.
I just hit this guy's almost averaging a triple-double every night. His rebounds, assists have gone up, points per game. His steals, he's averaging 2 steals a game, right? I'm going to go DeJounte Murray. I know it's a lower seed. They barely get in, but what he's been doing over there on that team is putting him on their back. And it's just not a lot of people thought he was going to take that kind of step, right? He's been a beast. So give me DeJounte Murray.
All right. RB?
And there's a lot of good candidates. I'm actually going to go with Hero just because of the way that he looked. Not only bad last year, but just like out of it. He didn't even look like he wanted to really like fit in Miami anymore. And he's bounced back tremendously. And like you said, it usually goes to a pretty good team's player. Miami's winning, so I got Hero winning it this year.
Okay. Rocha?
Bro, this was so tough. I mean, I'm actually going to go with somebody who I thought would be a candidate early in the year, not Jordan Poole. I'm going to stick with Miles Bridges. The dude's jumped 8 points from 12 last year to 20 this year. He's been incredible. I know the Hornets are winning a lot of games, but he's a big reason why they will march into the playoffs, or at least the 2 are playing. I'm going to go Miles Bridges. I love his game this year, man.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I love that, dude. And we have a donation here, $5 donation from Zach White. Says Anthony Simmons, most improved player.
That's another one.
Simmons from the Portland Trailblazers. He's been incredible, so that's a great one.
It's been incredible, man. This is so tough, man.
Yeah,
this is actually a really tough one.
Absolutely. We'll see how it plays out. All right, now let's go to 6 man of the year. For me, this is going to be Tyler Hero, averaging 20 points per game, 4 rebounds, shooting 42% from the field this year. He's been playing a big role, especially with a lot of the injuries going down.
Yeah,
been a big reason why they're the number 1 seed right now, despite those injuries throughout the season. Give me Tyler Hero.
Yeah, I think I think that's Heroes to lose. So I think you're right on that one.
RB?
If it's not Tyler Hero, I'm going to go with Kelly Oubre. I think he's had a sneaky good year. with
Yes.
Charlotte. And, again, they've been on a rough patch, so he might not get it. But I like Kelly Oubre from the Hornets, man.
Rocha?
I'm agreeing with you guys. Give me Tyler Hero. He's back to where we saw his rookie year, man. He's been incredible.
Yeah, and I like that. Kelly Oubre, I have him in my top 3 as well. The other guy was Kevin Love of the Cleveland Cavaliers.
Oh, I like that. That's a good one too, yeah.
Yep.
So, all right, there you go. Now, let's move on to MVP of this league. All right, Sean, who's your MVP?
This is the reason why I didn't put him in most improved. I'm going to go John Morant.
Ooh.
Them going to, because I have him finishing top 2. I mean, you both do, right, Josh? I think this is where I put him as MVP, man. Him taking that team, him taking that big jump has got him in that conversation. Him and Joel Embiid right now are the top 2 guys. It could go either one, but I'm going to go with John Morant being MVP this year.
RB.
I have to do it, man. I had to. It's got to be Joel Embiid, man. I feel like if he had played enough games last year, he would have qualified.
Yep.
Joel Embiid's just been tremendous. I could go on and on, but with the distractions off the floor, with how he's even gotten better as a facilitator, a scorer. I mean, he's breaking 5, 6, 7 Wilt Chamberlain records, things that haven't happened since 1960. He's putting up 40-point triple doubles. He's just, I mean, every night this guy finds a way to drop your jaw as a Sixers fan, and just as an NBA fan. He's one of the most skilled bigs I've ever seen, and it's about time, man. I think he wins it this year.
Okay, Rocha.
I want to go Curry so bad, man, but I'm going to go RB's guy. I'm going Joel, the process Embiid, man. I know his numbers are going to take a slight hit with Harden there, but he's still going to be averaging incredible numbers. I agree with RB. I think if he was healthy, he is MVP last year, but he's going to be MVP this year, man. I love the way he looks.
All right. For me, it's tight, man. It's tight between Joel Embiid, Giannis, and Nikola Jokic. Especially Nikola Jokic and Joel Embiid. Jokic, the numbers he's putting up right now is just phenomenal. What he's doing right now, and with less help over there in Denver. And Joel Embiid, same situation. He's been dealing with a lot of bullshit this year. Tobias Harris, kind of like being in a slump until just recently. No Ben Simmons. Sure. I mean, just on and off the court, everything that he's been having to do, he's got to do it on an elite level on both ends of the court. Ultimately, I think this is going to go to Joel Embiid. He's going to be the MVP this year. He's going to be the MVP for me.
Probably should be.
I mean, I don't think anyone's had to bear more on their shoulders this year than that man. Yeah. So give me Joel.
Sure.
As MVP. What do you guys think? Who's y'all's MVP in the chat?
Saw a lot of Embiid.
All right.
Yeah.
Now for the last award of the year. Coach of the year. All right. Sean, who's your coach of the year?
This is where I'll finally be a little biased. I'm going to go Jason Kidd.
Jason Kidd.
I know we're probably going to finish around the same as we did last year, right? Seeding-wise, right there. But I'm going to give Jason Kidd just because the simple fact is look at how much our defense has improved. A lot of people thought Luka was not capable of playing defense, and now he's playing damn good defense. We don't even have a big, and we're still being one of the best defenses right now. So I think just the turnaround on that side and still being able to put up points and score and win these games and beat some of the best teams in the league, I'm going to go with Jason Kidd.
Okay. RB, who's your coach of the year?
This actually has to be the hardest one for me because there's just so many. Like I have a top 5 list, but I might not go with the sexy pick here, but I'm actually going to go with Monty Williams because I think going to the NBA finals and then coming back the next year and pretty much being even better, keeping your team on that track. Now he's got Chris Paul injured. He's got a lot, he has a tough task ahead of him, but them Suns are prepared to play every night. And I felt honestly that Monty should have won it last year. So I think he's going to get it this year.
Rocha?
For me, it's between 2. Billy Donovan, but I'm going to actually go Taylor Jenkins of the Grizzlies. The Grizzlies head coach. The way he's put together that team, the way they're playing, top 2, top 3 seed. I'm going to go Jenkins from the Grizzlies as my head coach of the year.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So for me, it was tough. I mean, like RB said, there's a lot of great candidates here. Monty Williams, JB Bickerstaff, Billy Donovan, Taylor Jenkins, Eric Spoelstra,
yeah.
Nick Nurse, even Steve Kerr.
Yeah.
You know, the turnaround that the Warriors did this year was
Mhm.
pretty good. But I am going to go with and agree with RB. It's going to be Monty Williams. No one's a better coach right now in this league. Nobody.
Yeah.
All great candidates here. Other great coaches. Jason Kidd, great coaches here. No one's a better coach than Monty Williams. Nobody. He was robbed last year. Fucking robbed.
That's
The
true.
Knicks overachieved. Tom Thibodeau was given coach of the year. That was bullshit. Sorry, Thibs. Sorry, New York Knicks fans. But that was Monty Williams' award, and he's going to get it this year. There is not a coach in this league that's coaching better than that man, Monty Williams.
Bro, I totally forgot that he did not win it last year. I kept thinking that he won it. So I really like that.
Too, to be honest.
All right.
It probably will be Monty.
Yeah.
Even Spoelstra. Fuck.
All right.
Foster
So-
too, yeah.
I mean, but there's some really good candidates in this race. I also want to give a shout out to some of the guys in the MVP race. DeMar DeRozan, Chris
you got
Paul. Chris Paul has been incredible this year too.
Yeah, it sucks that he got hurt.
Yep.
But,
Yeah.
So I like that, man. That was cool. Just talking about
was
the
fun.
NBA right now, dude.
Yep.
It was fun. But if you guys want to call in, I guess we could do some call-ins. And here's how that's going to work. If you want to call into this stream, ask us some questions or whatever on StreamYard, this is how we're doing it.
Yep.
You're going to have to DM me on Discord, and I will provide you the link, and we'll bring on who I choose. So DM me on Discord if you want to call in. Guys, if you have any other thoughts.
Oh, dude, I'm just excited for this last little stretch of the NBA season, man.
Yes.
Like the thing is with all these races, like the most improved MVP, so many teams could just go on a hot streak, man. It's
I
gonna be
hope everyone's
exciting.
healthy
Yes.
Oh my God, please stay healthy.
and gets healthier.
Yeah.
Yes.
But your team needs to get healthy.
Teams like Chicago and Golden State to get healthy. Chris Paul to come back. You know,
Yeah.
the final stretch of this season is going to be so much fun. I so look forward to that race between the top 5 teams in the East. Where's everybody going to go, man? The race between the Warriors and the Grizzlies. Can we stay atop of them? Some of these races are going to be so much fun to watch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh.
Also, if you don't follow us on Discord, you want to DM on Twitter, go ahead and do so. We didn't miss any donations while we were discussing those last 2 awards, did we?
No, I was. Oh, wait. Oh shit! Yeah, we did.
Okay.
I'm glad you brought that up. Goodman with $2. He says, "My boy Billy Donovan."
Let's go. Matthew Goodman, so sorry, man. We
Yeah.
missed that, dude. Billy Donovan, I would love it. And I appreciate you showing some love to him. We have a $20 donation from Mav the Legend. Says, you are amazing. Mav, dude, thank you so much, bro. Cheers.
Much love, man.
You're amazing, Mav. Thank
Go,
you.
Mav.
Holy shit. And we got our first caller.
Ah, Lord.
And here we go. This is Rob. What's up, Rob?
What's up? How are y'all doing?
You
How
have
are y'all doing?
feedback.
What's up?
Do you have the stream on like loud? You have just feedback there. Hello?
Oh, hold on.
Good.
I'll turn it down.
Just a little bit. All right. What's up, buddy?
You good?
Yeah.
Okay, what's up, man? So one thing that me and a couple of guys were discussing, specifically me and MG, we went over the brackets and all that kind of stuff, current
Right.
standings, of course, and we went to see who won the finals, who we had winning the finals, right? So of course, that's my question to y'all. Who would you think is your favorites right now? Of course, mine. I'm going with the rematch. I want this to happen so bad. Bucks versus Suns, and I actually have the Suns winning it in 7 games. What do you guys think?
Winning it this time. Okay. I like that.
Okay.
All right. And what's your question?
Who would win?
Who do you guys have winning the finals?
prediction.
But between the
Fi-
Bucks and the Suns, I think if they match up again this year, I think it's going to go the Phoenix Suns this way this time around.
No. I was just saying in general, who do you have making the finals like this season? After seeing,
okay. Who do I have making the finals?
Yeah.
I think out of the Western Conference, I'm going to go with the Phoenix Suns. In the Eastern Conference, which is so tough, I'm going to say I think it's going to be Philly. I think it might be Philly
Ooh.
that goes. I love what they're doing
Wow.
defensively, and then if Harden is as advertised, we
Yeah.
see old school Harden, not old school Harden, like Harden from like a year ago.
Yeah.
I mean, it could be Philly. So Philly, Phoenix.
I'll say
Yeah.
Golden
That
State,
too.
Chicago, baby.
Oh my God.
I think both those teams get healthy for the playoffs and they make big runs. Give me Chicago and Golden State.
No, I'm leaning towards the same thing as you, Josh. Philly and Phoenix. And who I think will win out of that would be Phoenix. I feel like Phoenix they're on a mission this year.
Mhm.
So I got Phoenix winning that. Sorry, RB.
Man, I also got to go Philly and Phoenix, but I got my boys winning it, man. And let me tell you why, because, man, I don't think the league's ever seen what is about to happen with Joel Embiid and James Harden. I think it's going to take some time. It may not be as smooth right away, but Phoenix Suns are great, and they could definitely win a series. But Joel Embiid is playing on a different level, I'm telling you. And come playoff time, for the first time, he doesn't have a man who doesn't play offense standing in his way. And it's going to be hard to they're doubling, they're tripling him now, and he still scores. He still scores 36 a night. So give him a guy like James Harden. I think the Sixers could battle in a series, man.
Okay. I like it. Yeah.
I cannot wait to see what happens in the playoffs on the Eastern side. So many matchups. I really, really want to see 76ers versus the Nets. If that doesn't happen, I might riot, honestly. That'd be perfect. Ben Simmons going against the 76ers, James Harden going against the Nets, of course. I want to see that so freaking bad. And, of course, I feel like, man, Bucks, Bulls would be a good – there's so many teams in the East that are just really cool, and I'm really hoping that we get to see. The West is cool, too, more top-heavy. Man, I just can't wait to see what happens in the playoffs, man. Do you think the East is better this year than the West?
Yes.
100%.
I've been saying quite a bit this year that I think the Eastern Conference has been the most interesting thing in sports for me in the past, 6 months, since the season started.
Yeah.
100%, man.
The gap between the 8th seed and the first seed in the East, and then go look at the gap between the 8th seed and the first seed of the West.
Yeah, and look at the Blazers, what their record is. They're a playing team right now, and they're like 10, 15 games on the 500.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Exactly.
there's an interesting point that I've been thinking about, and I actually wanted to hear your guys' take on it. Not to steer away from your question, but is the short-lived era of three-star basketball over? Because obviously it didn't work out with Brooklyn, and it's hard to really build a nice core, as you saw with Brooklyn, around your megastars. So that's another reason I think it's kind of leveled the playing field now. I think it's interesting. Can you really get that extra player and still build a solid team? I think no's the answer now.
I agree with you. I think no is the answer, and I think some of these other younger teams are proving that too.
Yeah.
Memphis, Cleveland. This is how you want to have a team. You want to have a nice, well-rounded team. What Chicago's doing, the Golden State Warriors, that's the way to go.
Yeah.
Not have 3 superstars and then a bunch of
Lakers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Lakers.
Yeah, exactly. So I agree.
Yeah. It was short-lived. It was.
Isaiah with a $2 donation says, "Huh? What? Are you off work or what?"
Yeah.
Corrupt. San Antonio Spurs. Where did you have them seated?
So I had them in the play-in. I had them as the 10th seed, not the 8th seed. That'd be amazing though. DeJounte Murray's going on a roll right now, and I know how much you love the Spurs, but I just don't see it. I don't know. I feel like when I look at the rest of this team, and especially getting rid of Derek White, even though that might help DeJounte Murray a little bit more, I just don't see it. I still think the Lakers are going to be very competitive. Honestly, I do have the Lakers as the 8th seed, and then the Clippers as the 9th seed.
Okay.
Clippers, their top 3 guys are out. Norman Powell, Paul George, he might come back. Kawhi Leonard. I don't really know. I mean, there's Terrence Mann, Reggie Jackson. I just don't see it. So I think I have the Lakers 8th seed. Spurs, I'd love to see that happen, but I don't think so. And speaking of the Spurs, I think Pop might retire after this season, honestly.
Oh,
Wow. That'd be the end of an era.
That was suck, man. Greatest, one of the greatest coaches of all time.
Did you have any hot takes or on some of the awards or some of the things that we discussed tonight that you want to chime in on?
No, I kind of agree with everything. I mean, Rookie of the Year, I agree with that. 6-man, I agree with everything, honestly. Yeah, there's no hot takes I have right now.
Okay.
Oh, besides, I honestly just don't. The Celtics, I don't like the Celtics, honestly. I just don't. I don't know if that's a hot take.
I'm there with you.
I don't know if I've watched a lot of these games, and I hate this ISO ball that Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown freaking runs. Oh my gosh. They do this stupid thing where they're ISO, and then they just run down the thing and take a bad shot. But of course, now they've been better. I just don't think it's going to last long. And I wouldn't be surprised if they somehow miss the playoffs by one of these playing teams.
Sheesh.
Oh my
Man.
god.
B-Hub right now, if he was here, he'd be screaming. He's like, we're 9-1 our last 10. What more do you want?
He's in the chat right now and he just screamed fuck.
Yeah.
What more do you want, Corrupt?
Yeah. Goodness.
No, but I feel you about Jason Tatum and Jaylen Brown. And I've been saying for the last 2 seasons that I think maybe they should trade one of them. I would trade away probably Jaylen Brown because they do play too similar. And there is a lot of ISO between the two.
Mhm.
We have a $2 donation from Georgie.
This question. It's my birthday. Favorite kind of cake.
It's your birthday.
Hey,
Well, happy
Happy
birthday, Georgie.
happy birthday, Georgie.
Hey, man. Hopefully you enjoy your day. My favorite cake, oh, my goodness. Tres leche or strawberry. Either one.
Lemon cake, man. It's my fave.
Yellow cake for me. I love yellow cake.
I'm gonna go
Yellow
with
cake?
yeah. Can we get an explanation on that?
It's just the type of
that's
cake
yellow?
that it's called. It's basically like a white cake with chocolate
What does yellow
frosting.
taste
But
like?
what?
What does yellow taste like?
It's like basically a white cake with chocolate frosting, but at the batter is called yellow cake.
You just call cake like people choose Gatorades. Give me the blue. Give me the red. You said give me a yellow cake.
So at least I called it growing up. I don't know what it's exactly called, but I'm pretty sure it's actually called yellow cake batter.
It's just cake.
It's just what?
It's white cake with chocolate frosting. All right. There we go.
I like it.
You have the legend with a donation of cake. Thank you so much.
Yeah.
What's yours, RB?
Mine's actually cookie. I like cookie cake.
Ooh, hell yeah.
Very underrated.
Cookie
That's a
cake.
good one.
We've had some of
I've
that.
had some cookie cake.
Yeah.
Right, T-Web?
You know, I don't really care for cake that much.
You don't care for a lot of things.
You don't care for hamburgers. You don't care for cake.
Bro, burgers are not good. They're not good. If that water burger is not good, because when I come out there, I taste out that water burger. If it's not good, I just don't like burgers. I just
All
don't.
right.
You ready to move on from this guy?
I am.
Yeah.
It's a weirdo.
All right. Thank you for having me on.
Yo,
Oh.
goodbye.
Bye, crap.
What? What?
You're just
What'd you
kicking me off because I don't like burgers? What's the problem with that?
Yeah.
Yeah.
My
Yes.
taste buds are amazing. You're just not woke like me, man.
Get lost. Beat it, kid.
Oh my
Bye-bye.
God.
Get out of here.
What are the kids saying woke. Oh my god.
I'm
Eddie,
woke
who's
in my
been a
third
member
eye.
at 17 months at the Cult of Fury elite level, says, so Rocha, if we baked a pig cum cake with yellow food coloring, you'd like that?
What?
Oh my god. What the hell? All right. Time for another caller. You're still here?
Oh, shoot. My bad.
Oh, we have a $2 donation from Isaiah. Cake is ass. It's all about ice cream. Huh?
Huh?
Well, some people like ice cream cake. I don't really
Yeah.
care for ice cream cake.
I don't
I've
mind
had
ice
it
cream cake.
once. It wasn't terrible.
Mm-hmm.
It wasn't terrible.
All right, so we're waiting for our next caller right here. My
Yeah.
goodness, man. How do you not like burgers?
He's from
Yeah,
Florida.
like what?
I don't know.
RB,
All right,
have you
coming
ever had?
into the stream. MG, what's up, MG?
Hey,
Was good. Y'all can hear me, right?
yeah.
Yes, we hear you.
Yep.
First off, how's everyone doing today?
Doing
Pretty good.
fantastic. How are you?
I'm doing great. Now, I seen that y'all went through you guys' Eastern and Western seeding predictions and all that stuff, and the chat we played along. But my question here is, what is the best possible playoff matchup in the Eastern Conference and in the Western Conference?
Best possible matchup.
Mhm,
I'm
for
going to
both
say,
conferences.
in the Eastern Conference, I would like to see a Miami 76ers finals, Eastern Conference finals.
Okay.
In the Western Conference, I want to see Grizzlies and Suns.
Okay.
I think for me in the East should be Sixers and Bucks. I'd love to see that matchup, Giannis and Embiid. And in the West, Warriors, Suns.
Oof.
Well, you know who I'm gonna say, man. Sixers and Nets, man. It's inevitable. It has to happen.
Hell yeah.
The running joke that Kyrie can't play in Brooklyn and Ben can't play in Philly. It would be amazing. The vibe would be immaculate. That has to happen. And then in the West, I like either Suns Warriors or Suns and Grizzlies. I think it would be a high-powered series. I think it would be fun, man.
All right.
Now, I have a hot take for my Western Conference one. Not really a hot take, but
All right.
it's not just the typical Suns and Warriors. I actually think the Grizzlies and Warriors is the best possible matchup because when you look at it, the Grizzlies have given the Warriors serious problems this year, even more problems than the Suns have given the Warriors from what I
They
see.
really have.
And I don't know, bro. I want to see in a 7-game series, you got Ja Morant, Jaren Jackson, Desmond Bane, and that young squad, how are they going to match up with the Warriors in a playoff series? Now, you can do all that in the regular season, but the playoffs is different. And then in the Eastern Conference, man, I'm going to go with the Sixers and Nets. I mean, I agree with RB.
Yeah.
That matchup right there, I just think with Kyrie, Ben Simmons, and KD, they do have a lot of solid depth pieces with Curry, which I didn't want to give up, but we had to do it at the end of the day.
Mm-hmm.
And then they got Drummond. But at the end of the day, bro, that storyline, that matchup, everything going on, Embiid and KD. The last time we played, Embiid waving KD off the court, and then Ben Simmons coming back to Philadelphia for a 7-game series. I mean, it's just electric there. I think the Nets are gonna I think KD and Kyrie are gonna come with a lot of intensity because they don't like how it ended with Harden. And I think same with the Sixers, you're gonna come with a lot of intensity because we don't like how it ended with Simmons. So that's my 2 favorite matchups there.
For that Warriors Grizzlies, I mean, the Suns have what, 10 losses, right?
I
The
believe
Warriors are the only team, if I'm not mistaken, to beat the Suns twice. We still got 2 more matchups. I truly think the Warriors are the only team in the NBA that could take down the Suns. The only team. When we're healthy. This team right now, I don't think we can beat the Suns. We get Draymond back, Wiseman healthy, Iggy healthy. I think we're the only team in the NBA that can take down the Suns.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
That's why I keep running the joke is every time I see the Suns win, it's like the Warriors are really the only team that can beat this damn team. And that might be true.
Yeah. I mean, y'all have given them matchup problems there. Also, too, I picked Billy Donovan as my coach of the year, but man, I think the second coach of the year votes is gonna be JB Bickerstaff. That's think what he has done with the Cavaliers, bro. Even last season, Cavs showed a lot of fight against some top teams in the Eastern Conference. And now you got this year making them a playoff team, running he has 3 7-footers in his lineup. You got Larry Markkinen, who's I don't think he's exactly 7 foot, but he basically counts as one. Yes. And then you got Evan Mobley and Jared Allen, who are 7 foot as well.
Yep.
I mean, JB Bickerstaff, I honestly thought that Cleveland was going to be a disaster with that lineup. Larry Markkinen, he's going to be your starting small forward. Mobley and Allen in the same lineup, that's too clustered. But they've been one of the best defensive teams in the league, and their offense hasn't really shown that that's a problem. And so I think JB Bickerstaff could take it from Billy Donovan, in my opinion.
Now, if they use the same logic as they did last year in choosing their coach of the year, then they will go to Cleveland. I mean, the New York Knicks, they overachieved what everyone thought they were going to achieve, and they gave it to them. They finished the 4th seed. That's what the Cleveland Cavaliers are right now. So if they use the same logic, it's probably going to go to JB Bickerstaff, and I wouldn't mind that.
Yeah.
Did a great job turning this team around.
Absolutely, man. I didn't think the Cavs would even be a playing team. I thought they'd be right as like a 10, like an 11 seed. But the fact that they're the 5th seed and they could get even better, absolutely, man, 100%.
Also, too, I think I'm just biased. I might be biased, but also, bro, not the NBA national media doesn't know this, but George Niang is a sleeper for 6th man of the year. This dude off the bench has been amazing for us, hitting constant clutch shots for the Sixers off the bench, being a stretch power forward. I would not be surprised if George Niang comes like top 5 in 6th man of the year votings because he has been playing well off the bench. And we call him the minivan. That's kind of been his nickname if we embraced it.
What do you call him?
The minivan.
The minivan.
Huh.
Yes. The minivan. This dude, he plays with a lot of grit. He plays with a lot of toughness. His mentality is just great. And he's, like I said, the way he shoots the ball, I mean, off the bench for us is just, I think he's the best bench player on the Sixers this season.
Yeah. Most underrated pickup, I would say, of the off season. Not like best player or anything, but most underrated. Like, I think we signed him 2 years, $6 million, something in that range. And I mean, he's been giving us quality minutes, man, like 15, 20 a night. Can hit shots, plays defense. I mean, he's scrappy, man. I love it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
Crazy Dog, check your DMs, buddy. Check your DMs, man. All right, MJ, anything else?
That is it. I just wanted to get y'all opinions on the playoff thing, and man, it's gonna be a fun rest of the season. I mean, I honestly can't wait for this. And the Easter, I'm glad to be an Easter Conference fan because this is insane, bro. What this East is about to be, we got Josh's Bulls, me and RB, we got the Sixers, we got the Nets, we got the Bucks, the Miami Heat are the tied for the 1st seeded. I mean, and they're not even being talked about. This Easter Conference playoffs, this is gonna be one of the best playoffs ever. And I'm ready here. I'm here ready to say it.
And I know you're going to be streaming a lot of your Sixers games as well and into the playoffs just as much as RB is. So, guys, please go subscribe to RB. Go subscribe to MG because MG just hit a milestone.
Yes.
He just hit 1,000 subscribers on his channel. Congratulations again, man.
Yeah, congrats, bro.
Appreciate y'all, man. That was great, and I appreciate y'all for being there along the way.
Hell yeah, man.
Oh yeah, man.
All right, but have a nice day.
All right. So, all right. Thank you, MG, for calling in.
Please, man.
All right, so we're gonna get our next caller in. Crazy Dog. I don't think he saw his message, so I'm gonna reach out to our next caller. Oh, there's Crazy Dog. There he is. All right. Crazy Dog. What up?
What's up? How you doing?
What's going on, man? Thanks for calling in.
Doing great, man. You know, just watching my Cavs team right now. Surprising everybody. Love to see it.
All right, so what do you want to talk about, buddy? Cavs?
I mean, of course. What else is there to really talk about? Cavs. I mean, everyone probably wants to know, did I think we were gonna be this good? I had us at 35 wins.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, and look where we are right now. I mean, I'll be honest, when I heard we signed Roy Markkinen, I was like, ooh, is this gonna work? I mean, yeah, we're probably not gonna be that good. We're just gonna test it out, see how it goes. And it's like, oh my God, it's actually working. Like, damn. Like, okay. And then Garland's taking the lead. And it's funny because Garland was revered as one of the worst players in the league a couple years ago. We bring in Rubio, and look what happens. He turns into one of the best point guards in the league. So if any of you other teams out there have a young, promising point guard, go sign Rubio. He turns your point guard into something that is really good. Just look at Phoenix. Look at the other teams that he's been to. Look at their point guards. He turns them into really good point guards. It's crazy.
Well, I remember in the offseason, a lot of people were like skeptical about Sexton, right?
Mm-hmm.
Like, is there chemistry issues? Are there going to be problems? How the Cavs going to deal with that? Are they going to trade him? And then, you know, it sucks that he got hurt, but he was having a great year. Garland obviously stepping in, and he's looking great too. And before Rubio got hurt, yeah, like you said, like it's just y'all are doing great.
Mm-hmm.
I remember everyone was talking about how no one likes Sexton in the locker room, but as we've seen, they love him, and he's still hanging around the team. I mean, if you look at our bench at home games or whatever, he's always hanging around the bench.
It's great.
I'm glad things turned around with that situation, man.
Seriously.
It's crazy, man. Like I agree with Crazy Dog. I had him as a team like that. The fact, I know I just said it, but the fact that they can take a team like that, what they're doing right now, man, with Garland taking a lead step, Jared Allen, that dude's an all-star, going along with Evan Mobley, one of the best, you know, duos in the league right there, man. It's been so good to see them be great without LeBron. It's the first time in my life I've ever seen them good without LeBron.
Hell yeah.
This is actually the
like
first
even LeBron
time
wants to go back.
Yeah.
This is the first time that we're good without LeBron ever. Like, this is the first time. This is the best we've been since 1997-98 when we had Sean Kemp.
Sean Kemp days.
Now, some of you guys are probably out there thinking, wait a minute, the Cavs had Sean Kemp? Yeah, we had Sean Kemp.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, at the end of his career. But
that was back when you guys wore those baby blue and black jerseys.
Oh, yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
You know, you talked about signing Markkinen. I'm curious as to your opinion. What did you think when you guys drafted Evan Mobley? Because I feel like a lot of teams are now going to look at the Cavs and say, oh, you know, even if there's a concern, if we have another player of that position, you know, you go for best available. I think that's definitely a point of emphasis that's going to come up because I remember, you know, the Cavs, oh, how are they going to make this work? And that, well, look how it worked out, you know, and they have a stud in Evan Mobley. So.
Yeah, I mean, when we drafted Garland and Sexton, everyone was like, why they draft two guards? But then Kobe came out and said, we're trying to be like our own version of Portland. And then when we drafted Mobley, I was like, okay, you know, he'd be a good power forward. And then, of course, we got Markkinen, and it's like, wow, they're really going with three bigs? Like, that's interesting. And it's actually working out.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. Yeah, I remember a lot of people when they drafted Mobley, they were like, they just signed Jared Allen. And
Yeah,
that made no sense to me. I was like, you get Mobley. He might be the best player out of this draft.
Yeah.
I mean, you drew a lot of comparisons to Chris Bosh, but like he could be better than Chris Bosh.
Yeah, and I remember you saying that, and we were just like, why would they? But it's worked out.
Yeah.
They made it work, and that's what you gotta love, right? Teams don't just go off of needs, go off of
Jared Allen's, he stays on the inside, and Mobley, he doesn't have to be just on the inside. He can guard in the paint all the way out to the perimeter.
Yeah,
he doesn't need to be sticking, right next to Allen. Like, nah.
Yeah.
They work. They're going to work well together, and they have.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Sometimes you got to find a coach that can just put the players in the best positions possible.
Mm-hmm.
I remember like when we also drafted him, everyone was like, "Oh my God, that must mean Kevin Love is gone." And Kevin Love was even like, "Okay, I'm probably going to the bench." Now he went to JB and said, "Okay, are you guys going to do to me what Houston did to John Wall and just stash me on the bench until my contract runs out?" And JB's like, "No, you're going to be the sixth man. You're going to come off the bench. You're going to get your minutes, and you're going to get buckets." And look at him now; he's getting buckets.
Yeah, it's been great, man.
It almost seems like him going to the bench has helped preserve his health too.
Yeah.
Yeah. Archel brings up Drummond. I remember when y'all got Drummond, and then when y'all went and traded for Jared Allen. I love that y'all were like y'all capitalized on opportunities, right? Because if you think about it, y'all didn't really y'all went and got Drummond. Y'all were about to offer him the super max, but then y'all saw an opportunity. Got Jared Allen, let Drummond go.
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah.
Then
Larry
Nance, and then obviously with we were talking about the Mobley, that opportunity fell to you, and you're like, we're not going to pass this up. Y'all are taking advantage of the opportunities that are coming to y'all, and y'all are making it work. So,
oh yeah, I got to give a lot of credit to Kobe Altman, and of course, he's definitely earned that extension. Which, if there's something that Dan Gilbert never does, he never ever extends GMs.
No,
they never get to the second contract, and Kobe Altman actually got an extension. Same thing with JB too.
Yeah, and he might be in the running for Executive of the Year.
That also got Kobe a promotion too. So
right,
that's huge.
Definitely.
Hell yeah, man. So good stuff, man, for your Cleveland Cavaliers, dude. Any other thoughts?
I got one question now. Who is one team that is not in the top 10 right now in each East or West that you could see maybe sneaking in? And who's one team that you could see maybe falling out?
Okay, a team that I could see possibly sneaking in for the Western Conference, for me, that's going to be the Sacramento Kings. So Bonus and De'Aaron Fox, they look like a great duo together with Harrison Barnes, Rashawn Holmes. I think this might be a little sneaky team that can maybe get in the play-in.
True. Oh, that's tough. Yeah, I'm kind of with you, Josh. I want to say New Orleans because they got CJ McCollum, but like,
yeah,
I just can't trust the Pelicans.
And for the Pelicans, huge shout out to Valanciunas, who's been playing incredible this year.
That's kind of
he all of a sudden developed an outside shot. He's been shooting three like no other time in his career.
Yep,
Valanciunas has been playing fantastic this year.
Yeah, they really have. Sacramento's the only team I can think about of the West that could, and then I think the Lakers could fall out, depending on how they perform without AD.
Okay.
Spurs are outside top 10, so I'd have to go Spurs to go in.
And true.
Blazers to drop out.
Okay.
Sounds about right.
RB?
Yeah, I guess the only team I could think of that could go on a little bit of a run, if I wanted to think Eastern Conference instead, maybe the Wizards. Maybe they win. Pair a couple, get to the 10 seed. But yeah, I would have to agree with you guys for the Western Conference.
Okay.
Yeah.
See, KP comes back and starts playing.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
And then for me, I'd say probably the Kings jump in, and I wouldn't even be shocked if the Lakers fall out. But I'm going to say Kings jump in, Blazers fall out.
Blazers fall out. I like that.
Yep.
I like that. I don't know why I can't go Crazy Dog. I'm sorry.
Correct.
Oh, yeah, I'm not correct.
But Crazy Dog, thank you so much for calling in, bro. It's always great talking with you. Guys, Crazy Dog, that's another great content creator. You guys need to go subscribe to.
This guy.
All right. Bye, guys.
All right, bro. Talk to you in a bit. All right. Next caller coming in. Let's see.
Who will
Send the
join.
link.
Let's see.
He's a Browns fan. Ew, says Corrupt. You're just saying that because you're a Ravens fan.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Hot take, my Lakers are going to end up as the 11th seed, not even making the play-in tournament. Wow.
I want to doubt it with the injury to AD, man. They just look bad.
You know, There's a lot of people out there who would actually love to see that.
Yeah.
I wouldn't mind it.
All right, joining the live stream,
Hey.
Donnie the Couch.
Hello.
Hey. Hi, Donnie.
Hi. How you doing?
What's up, man? Thanks for calling in. What you want to talk about, bro?
Hold on. I gotta think. I lost my train of thought. Do you think the Kings have a sustainable future, especially with the front office?
The front office, like I don't. I'm not very confident in the front office of the Sacramento Kings because they've given me great reason to not be confident in them. But I know it's only been 4 games since the trade has happened. But I'm looking at this bonus trade and Halliburton situation, and I thought it was so stupid. But now I'm starting to think, could they be like secretly like geniuses or something? Because this has a lot of potential all of a sudden now. I'm seeing this team together. But I don't know. It's still iffy to me for Sacramento. They've done their franchise dirty so much for so long. It's the early 2000s.
They're one of the teams that have talent. That they usually will have talent and they'll compete, but they'll never sustain.
Like, oh, this guy's good. Let's get him out of here.
Yeah. So, just from the history, like Josh said, I thought they'd be better than this when they had Fox, Halliburton,
for real.
Marvin Bagley, right?
Davion Mitchell.
Mitchell.
Yeah.
Marvin Bagley's gone now, right? So it's like I just feel like they just can't.
Why did they draft Bagley?
I don't get
over Luka.
I don't know.
Trey.
Don't get it.
What were they thinking?
And then they told him at the beginning of the year that you're not part of our future. Like, Jesus.
Yeah, it's like, what the hell, man?
The fuck is he not part of your future?
I don't get it.
The Kings are gonna be the Kings.
Kings are gonna be Kings. Donnie, you're a Lakers fan.
Oh yes.
What are your thoughts about your team the rest of the way?
Well, we're here. Not a lot's going
We
on.
exist.
We exist.
Yes.
I think we'll sneak in and then do absolutely nothing, and then wait till the summer. And I think we actually can not completely fix this, but get a sustainable roster in the summer. I don't think something see, Damian Lillard's gonna fall out of the sky into our clutches or something like that. No, but I think we'll be just fine in the summer. There was no fix at the trade deadline. There wasn't Christian Wood for
Westbrook.
You pray.
I guess that's all you can do.
Pray.
Yeah.
Because nobody else wants to take on that contract.
Yeah.
Trading him is almost next to impossible. But
the Lakers turned it down like idiots.
Yeah, I don't know why they didn't take that trade.
I don't know.
So stupid. I just don't understand.
I don't know either.
The Lakers.
I think it was more of they want to keep their first round picks and they don't want to mortgage their future on something that could possibly fix this now and wait till the summer and see what more options are available, which there 100% will be. You never know. But yeah, I think it's more of a what the fuck?
During the trade deadline, I know you talked about this, and I was right there with some of you guys, Isaiah especially. But what do you think about possibly trading Anthony Davis at some point? Would you consider that for the Lakers?
This is a controversial subject. Let me think. Possibly, yeah. If he's that last piece for a contender, and they're here's more than what James Harden got for, but it probably won't be that. But a Ben Simmons type of thing, even though the injury concerns are there, if you keep him on a minutes restriction and he's plays 35 minutes a game, he's still one of the 10 most talented players in basketball. Yeah, I would 100%. If somebody said, hey, here's 2 first-round picks, 3 good role players, and a young stud, I'd take that. I'd take that right now.
I see Mofo in the chat. He agrees. Get AD out of LA because I think something needs to change. I think during this offseason, especially if you guys don't even make the play-in, if that situation were to arise.
Yeah.
And I think Anthony Davis he might be the guy that you can probably get the most assets out of in a trade scenario.
And you might be able to package him with Westbrook
if you can.
Yeah,
maybe.
Oh, that'd be godly.
Hey,
I think Westbrook and
that?
Westbrook and AD will be traded on two different separate things.
Yeah, I mean, more than likely, but if that were to occur, but if there's like a god tier scenario where you can
package them, like maybe you could convince a team, hey, we're giving you AD, please take this guy. You know,
I'd love it. But
trade with Oklahoma and get some of their young talent. Bring in Lou Dort and Josh Giddey or even SGA.
Bro, if we got Josh Giddey,
try to swing that deal.
I will dance. I will dance if we get Josh Giddey. I will dance like Michael Jackson in whatever movie he was in when he turns into a spaceship.
QC says, where is Schroeder going to be next year? Dude, Dennis Schroeder. That's a good question. He might be a journeyman, QC. He might be on several teams in the next couple of years.
Who was it that was traded like 3 times in like matter of like a week?
I mean, was
that Ariza?
Ariza?
Oh my god!
Yeah,
what happened?
I thought that was somebody who might possibly could have been a Bull. I mean, there was a lot of talks about him possibly going to Chicago because we could use another guard right now with some of our other guards being hurt. But thank God we didn't get him because I don't want him on my team.
Passed up.
$84 million. I don't know why.
Philly Take podcast with the $1.99 donation says go Sixers. There you go.
Hey,
man.
I do think the Sixers might win the finals this year.
Let's go, man.
Yeah,
it's our year. It's our time, man.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Need something, man. We need some excitement.
Yep.
I mean, imagine the Philadelphia 76ers winning an NBA title not soon after the Philadelphia Eagles won their first Super Bowl.
Yeah.
Yep.
In a long time.
That would be very huge. I'd be happy for Joel Embiid, man.
Dude,
oh hell yeah.
RB, when I go on Twitter, one of the most interesting things that I follow on Twitter is a Philadelphia fan base. I mean, my God, you guys argue tooth and nail within your fan base with the Sixers and the Eagles. It's crazy. Like, what's that experience like for you? Do you experience any of that? Arguing with your
experience it too much. It's like every loss, blow the entire fortress down, and every win, let's praise everybody and put them on our shoulders. The Philly fan base is just, despite what people speculate about us, I mean, they're some of the most passionate people, man. And you could go out on any street and any bar, whatever, just start talking to Philly fans, and you're gonna have a hell of a conversation. But man, this city will ride behind their players. I'll tell you that. Or they could turn on their players. And now you put the Sixers fan base together with the Harden fan base, and it's like you created a new monster, man. It's going to be something.
Okay, Donnie, any other last thoughts or questions?
I think the Timberwolves are a sleeper team people really need to stop sleeping on. I think they're they got a really nice squad. A squad that's a lot better than people think.
Right.
They actually have a legit backup center behind Cat now with Naz Reid. And I think Patrick Beverley's playing some of his best basketball right now. And I think they could legit upset somebody in the first round.
I know, Donnie, you're a big fan of them going into the season. I remember that.
You were.
Especially with the most improved player on their team, Anthony Edwards.
Yeah, he took a big step this year. I've been really impressed by that young man.
He's been a monster.
It's been incredible.
Also, I'm gonna be like the third guy to come on and say this. I don't trust Boston. It's just like I think they're fool's gold right now. Right. I legit think the ISO ball. They've been better at it, yes, with Derek White. I love that trade. That's such a good trade for them. But I think they still get in that habit of doing that ISO bullshit, run it down 15 seconds and then take a random shot when you're triple teamed. And then all the players stick out their arms and go, what? I didn't do that. What do you mean? And it's like, it's just really, really, it's really hard to watch. And maybe they shut my ass up. Maybe they do. I don't know, but
because you know what? If they do, B-Hub's going to be the one to shut it. Boston fan right there. Die hard.
Yes. He's screaming in the chat right now. You probably exactly that.
Yeah.
Well, yep. I expected that nonetheless from a Boston fan like him.
Well, Donnie, thank you so much for calling in, bro. It's always good talking to you, man.
No problem.
All right, bro. I'm sure I'll talk to you very soon.
Peace out, Couch.
See ya.
All right, goodbye. See ya. All right, let's see if our next caller is willing to call in. We have a donation here by Arturo with a $2 donation. Thank you so much, buddy. How does RB feel like talking to an actual couch? Donnie the couch. You were talking to an actual couch. He's not a real human being.
Oh, that's lovely. I didn't know, but now I do.
Yeah, it gets weird around here. It gets really fucking weird.
Yeah.
More of an inside
He's a
joke.
homicidal couch.
Yeah.
Love it.
He wants death to all humans. It's pleasure.
But I see B Hub in the chat saying the Celtics are better than the Lakers. Mofo's not having any of that. Donnie says it's a long story. But let's see if our next caller is ready. If not, I'm going to send this other link to this guy too. Whoever calls in first.
Yep.
We're going to take just maybe like a few more calls, and then we're going to head out, guys.
Yep.
We really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you all for tuning in. Mods, if you could drop the link to RB and Rocha Entertainment's channel once again.
Do it.
If you haven't done so, guys, please go subscribe to them.
Appreciate that.
Wow.
I have a deep hot take for you guys. I don't want to throw myself up here, but at some point after stacking up draft picks upon draft picks upon draft picks, I'm talking about this from a Philly guy taking what Sam Hinkie did to a different level. Okay, at some point you're sitting here thinking to yourself, the Thunder can literally trade for 5 All-Stars and have picks left over. I say in the next 5 years, the Thunder they have to make a big splash. Because if I was a Thunder fan, I'd be losing my mind right now with 37 first-round picks in the next 7 years.
No.
I say they're going to trade for 3 All-Stars. That's my hot take. Sometime in the next 4 to 5 years.
That's a good point right there. At some point, you got to do something with all those assets that you have.
Yep.
You said 37 picks.
That's
37 picks in the next 7 drafts.
That's fucking incredible.
Freaking insane.
Right?
Yeah.
You're sitting with all those draft picks. You have Josh Giddey, SGA, and you have Lou Dort, some really good prospects, really good young players right
They
there.
already have a good team.
So that's a really good take right there, RB. They got to do something with that because, like you said, in a few years from now, they should be a team that need to be a contender.
Yeah. Oh, and Eddie makes a good point. Where if they have so many draft picks, why don't they just waste one on Bronny? And they get LeBron.
Get LeBron out there.
Shit.
Yeah.
Yo, what if they do what RB just said?
Yeah.
Trade some of these prospects, trade some of these draft picks, right?
Mhm.
Bring in some superstars, right? Some star talent.
Yeah.
And then do what Eddie said, waste one of those draft picks on getting Bronny to bring in LeBron James on a veteran minimum deal
And then
make a run for a title.
Yeah.
that would
Or
be-
2.
That would be awesome. I think
3
that
or
would- that actually
4.
might be the way to go.
Not
Holy
5.
shit.
I mean,
Not
if
6.
you think
7.
about it, like they literally could trade for a full lineup of
Yeah.
stars and probably have some left over. So,
Yep.
no,
Crazy,
There's
man.
something here. RB, Eddie. If this happens, I'm going to look back on this night.
Yeah.
Started right here.
And you gotta love what they've already done. So
We have a $5 donation from Asia. What's up, Asia? What's good, Josh and Sean and Rocha? Oh, snap. You got RB in here? I really love you guys. Thank you so
Thanks,
much.
Asia.
Asia. Love you too. That's great. It was great talking with RB all
Yeah.
night long, about the
Oh,
NBA
yeah.
and stuff like that. And just can't wait to get the season started again on Thursday.
it's like it feels like this could be the longest week ever.
Yeah. Do you guys play on Thursday, RB?
we play on Friday in Minnesota, and it's going to be Harden's debut. So
Harden's debut.
Nice.
it's going to be
Oh,
something.
thank God. Because I got him in fantasy, man, and I need him to play again. Do you play
Unless-
fantasy basketball?
I do sometimes. I'm not like an avid fantasy player, but I know like the ins and outs of it. But
Yeah.
I definitely
Okay, yeah, man. Dude, we're obsessed with it now.
Yeah, seriously.
We are in, I don't know, 6, 7 leagues, something like that.
Yeah.
you guys are
We're in
into it.
It's fun, dude. And we play in the points league. It's great. It's been fantastic. All right,
It's
here
so
we
much
go.
fun.
We got our next caller, Chaos.
So,
What's up, buddy?
hey then.
Thanks for calling in. What you want to talk about, buddy?
Hold on one second. I just want to talk about a little bit about the Lakers. I have something to say about the 76ers. I'll start with 76ers. I'm never trusting them, ever, after what they pulled last season. Never, ever. I can't trust Doc Rivers. And
Really?
so last season,
RB?
they played a team with a young and up-and-coming point guard who's a superstar. They played a team with a great defensive center. And I think the Cavs can actually be what the Hawks were to the Sixers last year. Instead of one good defensive center, they have two. And they have Darius Garland running the point. So I think if the Cavs match up with the Sixers round one, I think the Cavs actually win that series. Because I'm never trusting a Doc Rivers team. Ever. I learned my mistake last season.
RB, you got to report to that?
Respect the take. There's one major difference. You don't have a fraud on offense who turned into a ghost in the playoffs again, who shot 33% at the free throw line and literally cracked down. Now you have James Harden. Speaking of that Cavs team, Joel Embiid had a 42-point triple-double against them. So, I mean, Joel's coming.
He's pretty good. He's pretty good.
But listen. Yeah, and now you just forced me to give my other hot take. Joel Embiid is on a Giannis type run. Now think about this. Joel Embiid coming from little to nothing, coming over, becoming his true self, right?
Mm-hmm.
Now he has the guy next to him, and now he has the team, and Joel has he's reached almost his peak, and maybe he can even get better. But this just seems like how last year it was kind of Giannis's run in the East. Joel's coming, man. He's coming. It doesn't matter if the Cavs are in his way. It doesn't matter if Brooklyn's in his way. Miami, sorry, Josh, Chicago. Nobody's stopping Joel Embiid, at least one-on-one. And double teaming, I mean, now you got James Harden to kick it up to on the perimeter. But I respect the take. And look, that is my main concern, man. If it does come down to it, it's going to be because of Doc Rivers. So.
And if they don't make the finals, I think he's gone.
Oh, absolutely.
I think it's finals or bust.
It has to be.
It has to be 100%.
And then so about the Lakers now, I don't think they trade Anthony Davis. I don't think they should. And here's why. Anthony Davis, we were 2 years ago when they won the finals, we were talking about him being a top 5 player. And I think the problem was, 2020, super weird year, COVID year, a lot of injuries with the Lakers, right? So I don't think that I don't think I'm going to take that in too much with Anthony Davis and LeBron. But now this season, also hold on, one quick point. Kendrick Nunn just fell off the face of the earth. What happened to him?
He's not healthy. Never stay healthy.
Yeah.
So back to the Anthony Davis point. I think what the Lakers need to do is just have LeBron and AD. We saw what happened when they were healthy for a year. They won a championship. But also, to play devil's advocate, if I were to trade Anthony Davis, I would want Bam Adebayo. I've seen rumors on Twitter.
Yeah.
I'm not saying it's true. I don't know the validity of it. But if that were to be a trade, I would 100% do it. But if it's not, I don't think I'd trade Anthony Davis if I'm the Lakers. What do y'all think?
I'll say this, like you're saying, LeBron and AD, when they're healthy, they won a championship. You're right. But the thing is AD hasn't been healthy. LeBron's getting up there in age, and now he's starting to miss games, right? Mm-hmm. For the longest time, LeBron never really missed a lot of games. Not like any major injuries, right? For most of his career, which is not easy to do. He's a freak athlete, but he is getting up there in age. And he's still playing at a high level, but we do see him missing some games now. So that is a little concerning, and you got to expect that to possibly go up more and more. So that's why possibly getting some trading AD. I know you say you don't see it happening, but that might be the best move to get more players that you can rely on. Because if LeBron does have to sit for a little bit just to make sure his body recovers because he's getting older, you can't rely on AD to stay healthy right now. You don't have that other superstar that's going to be there, right? So maybe trading AD, you might be able to get a guy that you could rely on to be healthy in that regard. Yeah. I don't know. Yeah. But yeah, I can see what you're saying. It's kind of tough because AD was a top 5 player and he was a monster. Yeah. But didn't he say they had nothing else to prove?
Right.
And
he did.
And that's concerning.
I don't get that.
Yeah, I don't get it either.
He
has
no MVPs. He has 0 MVPs.
Yeah, but he has nothing to prove. I don't know. You should always have something to prove to yourself at least.
Exactly. I don't even want to hear that from LeBron James.
Yeah.
Until the day you're done, you should always have something to prove, man.
I don't think you've ever heard
next thing.
Yeah, you've never heard
Michael
Giannis
Jordan
say
was.
that. You've never heard Steph say that. You've never heard LeBron
Kobe?
say that. You've never heard any of these guys say that.
Exactly.
Which, I mean, it's a bit concerning because AD does not have the mentality to be a basketball player at all. He is as soft as it comes. I'm not talking about like injuries. I'm not talking about injuries. I'm talking about on the court soft.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like he gets bullied.
You can body his ass up.
And it's not
Or
because he's
Tom can
skinny.
body him up.
It's not just because he's skinny. It's just because he's soft mentally. Because KD is skinny and he doesn't get bodied like that.
No.
KD's actually like he bodies other people. It's not talking about like frame. I'm talking about like mentally. He is soft mentally, and that's what he has to fix.
Right.
Has to.
I agree.
But he has nothing to prove.
I agree.
Yeah.
Well, some fair points there, Chaos. Any last thoughts, buddy?
I just want to say, I think what Russell Westbrook showed last game when y'all streamed it was versus the Jazz. He was good. Like he wasn't anything extra. He wasn't anything that he wasn't supposed to be. He was what he should be the rest of the season. And if he can do that, they could like fighter's chance they can make some noise in the playoffs. But that's a big if.
Yeah.
If he could do that. But thank you for having me on. This was a blast. Thank you.
And thank you for calling in, Chaos.
Yep.
Yep. See ya.
See y'all.
All right, one more caller, guys, and we're gonna call it a night.
All
Big
right.
Boy Slay, what's up, buddy?
Yes, sir. What up, y'all? How are y'all doing?
Doing all right. Thanks for calling in, Slay. What you want to talk
That
about?
definitely hurt my heart to hear what my boy would say about AD, but it is also true. But I just came on here, you know. How do you guys feel about like teams that like are really good this year, like the Heat and stuff like that, like teams like the Heat? And do you think teams like the Heat, who are having an amazing season, do you guys think a team like that will sort of slump in the playoffs?
The only reason I could see the Heat slumping is due to injuries, like not staying healthy.
Yeah.
But for the most part, a lot of these top-heavy teams in the Eastern Conference, I don't really see that. In the Western Conference, I could see the Utah Jazz because that's what they do. They always do that. They're the Chargers of the NBA. So
I think it'll come down to injuries if a team's going to slump, man. But otherwise, I think these top teams are going to be the ones that going to battle for the championship.
Yeah. And let's not forget he got Eric Spoelstra. Let's not discount that guy.
Oh,
one of the best coaches.
One of the reasons why he is a Coach of the Year candidate is, oh man, the Miami Heat and what he's been able to do in developing talent constantly. They're always finding out. You're serving Max Strus.
Yes, Strus. I was about to say,
Gabe Vincent. They're just always finding talent, man, and developing them in the right way.
Yep.
That's always a big thing.
Yep. What about you, RB?
Like I said earlier, man, I do not want any parts of the Miami Heat. I truly think a series between the Sixers and the Heat in the playoffs, I think every game would go 3.5 hours just because of all the free throws, man. I mean, they're already going to hate James Harden and Joel Embiid going to the line 25 times a night. Then you have guys like Kyle Lowry, Butler, Tucker. I don't want the Heat at all. I think they're just a gritty team. They're going to piss you off, and they have dudes that just, I guess, like they just know how to win. I hope the Sixers and whoever else's teams is in the East, I would try to avoid Miami at all costs.
Yeah. 2 years ago they were in the finals. Let's not forget about that.
Yeah.
So they're a great fucking team.
Yep.
Anything else left?
For me, if I was talking about the Heat, I would say just personally, no, but I think it's a very high chance because, that team is very loaded. But one thing we have to understand with the team like the Heat is, as RB mentioned, they are a gritty team. But if you're facing a team like the Sixers, or I don't know if I would say the Nets, but just like Sixers, basically, that team has Joel Embiid, right? So how does Bam Adebayo guard Joel Embiid inside the paint for maybe a 7-game series, 6-game series, 4-game series? It doesn't matter. just an entire series. I just don't see Bam Adebayo stopping Joel Embiid.
Yeah,
Oh, he doesn't.
I agree.
He doesn't by any
I
means.
don't think anybody can.
He is the MVP. It's always good to see something Philly do good. Even though I'm not a Sixers fan,
Made him-
I have to throw that out there. People think I'm a Sixers fan, but I'm not. I'm sadly a Lakers fan. We suck, but I'm kind of happy that it's starting to happen quickly. But yeah.
Mofo in the chat says, nah, I think the Chargers analogy is more fitting with the Los Angeles Clippers. And that is also a good one. That's also a good one. But I think the Utah Jazz have always been the Chargers of the NBA because they've always had a lot of good teams in the regular season.
Yeah.
And
Yep.
some of the teams made it to the NBA Finals, and they just never get it done. Not just now or as of recent, but for decades, they fit that bill to me.
Yeah.
But Clippers are also a really good one.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree with that, honestly. I could see that because the Jazz, that team, they've always been a team where like they can be good up and down in the regular season. They can have their moments, obviously flashes. They'll show you that they can be a legitimate playoff and they can be a powerhouse, but they can also show their slumps in the season to where
Since I've been watching basketball, you've had Malone and Stockton.
Yeah.
And then they had the Booze Crews, Carlos Boozer.
Oh my God, I forgot about Boozer.
And Williams.
Yeah.
And then and now with Rudy Gobert and Donovan Mitchell. It's like, man, how many times can y'all tell the same story over and over again?
Finally, when are they going to take that next step?
Yeah.
That's true.
Cap,
Man.
Corrupt. I see you in the chat. That's Cap. That's Cap. That's Cap.
What did he say?
He said I'm an Anthony Davis fan. That is Cap.
Are you with the diehard Anthony Davis fan? Do you have an Anthony Davis? How many jerseys do you have of Anthony Davis?
Zero.
Okay.
Why can't I think about it, though?
But I personally feel like if it's just for the Lakers in the playoffs this year, I personally feel like we're going to be a playing team. I heard Corrupt say we're going to be the 8th seed this year. I don't see that happening. I think playing is where we're at right now. I think the Clippers could be the 8th seed. I could see them, slipping up to the 8th seed. But if we're just speaking on like the 8th seed, I don't think we get there. But there is a chance. I mean, there's always a chance. We have LeBron James. We have Anthony Davis when he's healthy. He's one of the best players in the NBA, but that's a big if. He's not always going to be healthy. So,
Yeah.
So we talked to a couple of Lakers fans already. Would you trade Anthony Davis?
oh my God, I'm so iffy on this because I love AD. He is an amazing player. But if there's a situation where a team offers me a good amount of draft picks and players that can be there and like produce, I have to take it because we don't have a first round pick till 2026. And that is because of Anthony Davis.
Yeah.
So I would have to consider it, yes. But would I do it? I don't know. But maybe.
I think a good franchise, a good GM, a good basketball operations have to always consider all options, man.
100%.
I mean, Arturas Karnisovas and Mark Eversley, how they were able to turn around the Chicago Bulls since they came in has been fantastic. And now I trust them. Whatever they do, I'll trust them. They went out and got Tristan Thompson at the buyout. And some Bulls fans don't think that's a good idea. And I'm like, you know what? Hey, Tristan Thompson, we need size. I think it can work out for us because we are a pretty small team.
Yep.
If Vucevic is sitting on the bench, we are extremely small.
Yeah.
And when we get to the playoffs, we face against the 76ers, we face against off the Cleveland Cavaliers. We're going to need some size. And, hey, if Eversley and Karnisovas says this is what we need to do, I'm all for it.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's talking about teams that might slump in the playoffs. Depending on our matchup, my Mavs could do that just because we didn't get that size like y'all did.
Mm-hmm.
And that's been my biggest thing for the last couple of years is I think we could be one and done again in the playoffs, which sucks because we haven't won a playoff series since we won the championship in 2011.
Mm-hmm.
So, depending on our matchup, we could be one of those teams like you said, Utah.
Yeah.
Dallas could too, depending because the West does have some good teams. If we don't finish top 4 and we have to face some of these other teams, I know we match up well versus the Grizzlies, but I don't know. Denver going against Jokic, he could dominate us. obviously Cat and Minnesota could dominate us. So it's a little concerning for my Mavs. I think we could be one and done too, depending who we face in the playoffs.
I feel bad for Luka Doncic, man. Oh my God, he is a baller. Drops 50 a night, and you guys could be one and done, as you said. So,
but the future's bright. I feel with our new GM Nico Harrison. I like how they didn't give up Brunson for anything. We're going to re-sign him. Cuban already said it. I think we can go out and get a big man in the offseason, hopefully.
Now, if Luka Doncic and the Dallas Mavericks get one and done again, that would suck, right? Yeah. But it's not the end of the world. No. Luka Doncic is still extremely young.
It's amazing.
And there have been superstars. Some of the greatest of all time have struggled getting out and going deep into the playoffs early in their career. Michael Jordan was that way. When he was first starting out, he had the Detroit Pistons, the Bad Boys. You had the Boston Celtics were right there. Yep. And he would absolutely ball out, but their team just wasn't good enough to just get past, home. That team. So it's not the end of the world.
Oh no, Luka's going to be. Right. It seems like he's already in his prime, but he's really not. Yeah, that's what's scary.
Yep. But thank you so much, Big Play Slate, for calling in, bro.
Yep. Appreciate you guys for having me. Y'all have a great night.
Yeah, you too. Thank you. All right, we have a $2 donation from Isaiah. Says, "I'm gonna make the Lakers great again when I become the GM." I'm sure you will. I'm sure you will. Isaiah. You maybe do a better job than Rob Pelinka.
This isn't Madden where you can make him 8 trades in 1 week.
Yep. But fellas, we have another donation. Jordan, who's been a member for 17 months, says, "My Mavs haven't had a legit big man since Tyson Chandler."
Yeah. And I was so mad when we let him go after that run.
Yeah. I didn't understand that at all. Mark Cuban was, he's always trying to
do too much,
be a mad scientist. And then that team just kind of just had some magic that year. And then Mark Cuban said, "Ooh, we won the championship. That's great. Now let's make it legit. Let's get rid of everybody let's get rid of some of the role pieces that helped us win this."
And he wanted to go after the big time free agent, which Dwight Howard was the following year. And Dwight Howard gave us 30 minutes.
The biggest one of the saddest tragedies, sad stories of the NBA is Mark Cuban in free agency.
Oh, 100%. It's so terrible.
My God.
He admitted that was probably one of his biggest mistakes besides trading away like Steve Nash. It was us not bringing back that team and going for a second run because we had a great team. They had chemistry, defense. Dirk obviously was a monster.
Right. So all of our teams here, Rocha, RB, Sean, Mine Bulls, have a lot to look forward to. And this was great discussing the NBA as we get ready for the second part of the season after the break. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in and listening to us and participating, everyone who called in.
It was awesome.
Rocha, thank you so much for joining us, man. Appreciate that, dude. Love always collaborating with you.
Yeah. Once again, thank you for having me, man. This stuff is always fun, man. Love it.
RB, first time collabing with you, man. This was a pleasure. It was an honor. Thank you so much for joining us tonight.
It's fun.
Thank you guys for having me, man. All three of you are the best at what you do. I really appreciate you guys having me on. Just one last point. I was doing some mini research over here. Yeah. Oklahoma City Thunder. Look, hear me out.
Okay.
Next five drafts. 19 first-round picks, 15 second-round picks.
Jesus.
If you want to do anything good at your job, go be a Sam Presti of the world. Thank you guys so much for having me on. I'm looking forward to the rest of this season and doing this again, man, no doubt.
Oh, definitely.
And everybody, if you haven't done so, please go subscribe to RB, Philly Take with RB, and Rocha Entertainment. They live stream all the time. RB will be live streaming the 76ers on Friday night. James Harden's debut. That's going to be incredible. Go check them out. Guys, thank you so much. Everybody, wondering when's our next live stream? That's actually going to be tomorrow, and it's going to be a special live stream. This one's going to be dedicated to our channel members and our moderators. So, guys, tune in tomorrow night. We're going to be doing some giveaways, a hangout stream, giving away stuff to our channel members. All the channel members that are here right now. Thank you guys so much for supporting us for as long as you guys have. So tomorrow we're going to be doing that. And I don't know, maybe we'll take some calls too tomorrow and just hanging out.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to be doing. So see you guys tomorrow night. Y'all have a good rest of your night. And we'll see you tomorrow. Goodbye.
Take
Bye.
care, Spike your hair.
Oh, Jesus.
Spike it right now. Take
Do
off your
it.
hat and spike your hair.
I can't. Ah!
Don't rub your hair. Spike it, damn it.
I can't. I don't have hair.
So you need a new saying.
Yeah.
What?
You need a new saying then.
No. Let's still take care and spike your hair because you can
Alright.
spike your hair. I can't spike my hair.
I can't. I spike a lot of it. But anyway, if you guys want to come hang out in Discord, come through. Come
Yeah.
hang out. Y'all have a good night. Bye-bye. Bye. See ya. Bye. Leave, Donnie.